Good evening and welcome to Labatt Memorial Park on what ended up being a blistering hot day here in London, Ontario, Canada. I'm your host, Justin Koehler with MajorsTV, and we're incredibly excited to have you here at the ballpark with us tonight with the visiting Chatham-Kent Barnstormers here to take on your London Majors. So this is a rain makeup game, and it is also a battle between the number 2 team and the number 7 team, with London currently sitting with an 8-4 record and Chatham sitting with nearly an opposite record of 5-8 on the season. And London will be looking for a bit of a bounce back, coming off a loss in their last game on Sunday, with the Hamilton Cardinals dealing them a 6-3 loss. But on the bright side, the two teams battling tonight have faced off before, with London sitting with a 1-0 record against them in what ended up being a slugfest 15-12 in favor of London. And so, without any further ado, let's send it up to Ty and Dylan in the Game Day London press box to get going with our pregame show.
Justin, thank you. Welcome inside the Game Day London broadcast booth. Dylan Baker and Ty White with you for this evening's action on what is a scorching hot evening for baseball. We are trying to stay cool up here in the Game Day London press box all night long. Ty, the Majors coming off a tough loss, as Justin mentioned, on Sunday. Packed the park day. Really good crowd on hand to take that one in. Jose Arias struggled a little bit on the mound, gave up 5 runs across 7 innings, and the offense didn't come along as much as the Majors would have liked it to.
No, the Majors had 8 hits in that game, but unfortunately they really weren't able to capitalize when they had runners in scoring position. Although 8 hits is certainly a performance that they should be able to build off going into this one. And as you mentioned, Sunday, Father's Day, packed the park, over 5,500 tickets sold. So thank you all so much for your support, and that was an amazing overall event.
It absolutely was. Another successful Pack the Park day, and the Majors are trying to find consistent success this season, which has kind of escaped them recently.
Yeah, they've been rather mediocre, especially in their last 5, 2-3 in their last 5. This is their 3rd game out of row in home, and as well, they're only 4-3 record here at Labatt Memorial Park. Rather surprising considering they have one of the better home advantages in all the intercounty baseball league. A very proud home fan group, so it's unfortunate to see that. Also losses coming to Barrie, Welland, and Hamilton, and in those losses in their last 5, they've been outscored 16-8, so certainly some work to be done both on the mound and at the plate.
So as the Majors try to turn that tide, we talked to Majors skipper Roop Channard at pregame as Justin sat down with him for today's Roop's Report.
And so I'm here with co-owner and GM Roop Channard. Roop, right off the bat, how's your day going so far?
Good. You know what? We're at Labatt Park, baseball game. I always enjoy that.
Always a great day for baseball. And so the fans in the stadiums will kind of know, and players as well, but it has been scorcher in London today, and it's expected to stay like that throughout the week too. Can you just kind of go into the details of what impact that has on the players' practices and the games as in general as a whole?
So with weather, whether it's cold, hot, windy, not, you got to play with the elements. The elements say it's going to be hot now, so the big thing with heat is just staying hydrated. That's the crucial thing. And not just hydrated too late. You got to stay hydrated all day. So we've been telling the guys stay hydrated, because once you need water, it's too late, So essentially stay hydrated, and you know what? I don't get caught up in the weather as much. I'm just one of those managers, like, this is the situation. We got to adjust, and everyone's got to adjust to it.
That's a great way to put it. You got to kind of be a little adaptable and be prepared, which is also just a great tip for Londoners in general too. And so Chatham-Kent is in town today. Can you just go into a little bit of the details of what you expect to see from them today?
You know what? They're a good hitting team. They're a young team. They're aggressive. They like to run. They've been getting good pitching. They're on a little roll here, a couple-game win streak. So when you're like that, they come in, they play hard, they play right. So it's going to be a good game. I say every team in this league, it's good, and it's tough to get wins. And they're a well-coached team. They got a big league, ex-big league pitching coach, ex-big league manager, and their GM Harry's done a great job putting together a team.
It's a great point, and it really goes to show, especially the last time the two teams faced off, it was a 15-12 kind of slugfest. So great point on their kind of offensive power. And last but not least, a little bit of a fun question for you. Well, the team's officially passed the quarter-way point for the season, gotten through 12 games. Throughout that time, what 3 words would you use to kind of describe the identity of the team during that course?
Right now, you know what, I'm going to use one word to start, just inconsistent. We haven't been consistent right now, and this is a team, I always say, if we could be consistent, we could be a top team. And, people say, well, you are a top team. But if we could find that consistency, I think we have another level to go. So I'm not avoiding your question, but it's just been inconsistent so far with this team.
That's a great point. I think it's a great mindset to have. You never want to feel like you're the best team. There's always something to improve. And I'm sure you kind of can reflect that as a coach, too, just across the board. You could be all wins, no losses. There's still things to improve on no matter what.
Definitely. That's always the approach. We're taking that mentality. We want to win a championship. So to win a championship, you've got to do the little things. I've talked about that before. And right now, we're not capitalizing on those little things, both offensively and defensively. So once we get those little things down pat, we're going to be a lot better team.
Perfect. And so thank you so much. And we'll send it back up to Ty and Dylan in the Game Day London press box to continue with the pregame show.
When you need a night out, Throw London is on point. With an atmosphere that's a cut above, Throw London brings together the best in knife throwing, axe throwing, and darts. So it's the perfect spot for a date night, night out with friends, leagues, and team building for the office. You've got to be 13 or older to throw pointy objects and 19 plus to enjoy their fully licensed offerings. It's the best spot in London for some fun with an edge. London's original knife throwing. Check them out at 2190 Dundas Street East and online at ithrow.ca. That's ithrow.ca.
Anthem's complete. We are ready for baseball here at the Forks of the Thames as the Majors take on the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers in London for the first time. You heard the Roops report there with Justin Koehler as we wrap up our BP8 Fitness pregame show. Justin, just a word about Chatham-Kent, who's been on a roll lately.
Yeah, Chatham-Kent have been playing fairly respectably considering they're the new kid on the block this year in the Intercounty Baseball League. 3-2 in their last 5, currently on a 2-game win streak. Wins coming versus Barrie, Hamilton, and Kitchener. And Dylan, what's extremely important to mention, they're very, very potent at the plate. No less than 5 runs per game in their last 5. 12 and 13 runs in their last 2, averaging about 8.5 runs a game. So that's extremely impressive. They've been on a very good stretch, led by bats such as Seth Strong, who's second in average, first in home runs, and first in RBIs across all the IBL, as well as number 20, Spencer Marcus. So a lot of players to keep our eyes on offensively for the Barnstormers.
That was the BP8 Fitness pregame show. Reminder, the BP8 Fitness is functional strength training for everybody, I should say. And you get a look at the man tasked with silencing that potent Barnstormers offense, the big lefty, Victor Payano, on the hill in our throw pitching matchup.
Yeah, Payano, this is a left-handed pitcher, only making his second official start of the year thus far. His first start came in the season opener versus the Maple Leafs back many weeks ago. And something important to mention about Payano is he's primarily not been in a starting role in relief and closing, so it's good to see him out on the mound, and someone who definitely before the season was expected to be potentially an ace for this Majors lineup.
Absolutely, he was. The expectation was always that Payano would find himself in the starting rotation. On the flip side, for the Barnstormers, Ty, a really interesting arm takes the hill. Coming off of Tommy John surgery, the local lefty, Eric Pettipies, gets the ball.
Yeah, homecoming for Eric Pettipies, a native of Dorchester, Ontario, formerly also a London Badger. And after pitching in Friday night's game, Pettipies completed almost a 420-day recovery from Tommy John surgery, which occurred back in June of 2023. And he now gets to pitch close to home, only 1 inning pitched on the entire year. Played his college ball in Goshen, Indiana.
Let's take a quick look now at the starting lineup for the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers in this evening's game. Ty, we talked about how potent this order is. Lots of different bats that provide a lot of weapons for Chatham.
Very dangerous across the board. They're led off by Spencer Marcus. We talked about him in the pregame. Lee Kusera, then Seth Strong, who's playing third tonight. Trent Sillett, Robert Mackey, Mitsuki Fukuda, Braxton Hageth, Torin Veselnak, Jalen Butcher, and of course on the mound, Pettipies.
So we are nearly set for baseball today from Labatt Memorial Park. A rare 7:05 scheduled first pitch and 7:10 as Spencer Marcus strolls into the batter's box. Right now it's 27 degrees, feels like 36 at Labatt Park. It is a scorcher, lots of humidity. We are hot and sweaty up here, Ty.
Definitely.
We got fans going everywhere we can to try to keep us cool, and I'm sure that the cold towels, the wet towels most likely, and lots of water, as Rup Chanadad talked about with Justin, are on the go for the Majors. So Marcus digs into the batter's box as Payano, the lefty, readies on the rubber. The kick and the first pitch of the ball game is on the outside corner for strike one.
We should expect a lot of that from Payano today. He's got a really big arm, tall out there on the mound, looks good, and we'll see if he'll be able to step into a role where he becomes a reliable ace for the Majors.
The 0-1 will miss. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. The umpires for today's game, Justin Snively is the home plate umpire. Ben Flesher is at third base, and Steve Cochran is the first base umpire in this evening's contest. The 1-1 from Payano. Marcus fouls that one off.
You can see Marcus really anxious to get started, batting .390 on the year, so really high in average, second on the team, obviously behind Seth Strong.
Marcus has been a very, very good bat for this Chatham team, making their first ever trip to Labatt Memorial Park as that one misses high, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
He also had 2 RBIs and 2 hits and a 13-3 victory over Kitchener on Sunday. So he's coming into this one scorching hot like the weather today.
Here comes the 2-2. Breaking ball from Payano, a little bit too high, and the count now runs full at 3-2.
Be an important statement here, I should say, from Payano if he's able to sit down Marcus, one of the top hitters on this lineup, and he has his hands full tonight.
The 3-2 home. That one fouled straight back towards the screen, and the count will remain at 3-2. Bit of a sparser crowd as you see on your screen. It is hot, and it is also a Tuesday, which is a rarity around these parts for a ball game. Here comes a 3-2 from Payano. It is in the dirt for ball 4, so he loses the leadoff man, Spencer Marcus.
Yeah, great at bat there from Spencer Marcus, showing us why he's one of the top players on this Chatham-Kent side. Definitely doesn't have it easy against Payano there, throwing heat on the mound, but pretty comfortably watched that one sail inside and made his way over to first. So a great start for one of the best on the Barnstormers.
So that'll bring up Lee Kucera now with the runner over at first base. Here's the first pitch from Payano. Breaking ball. That one finds the zone, and it's 0-1.
Kucera had an RBI in that game versus Kitchener, hitting .255 on the year with 5 RBIs and 6 runs to his name.
Cut on and missed by Kucera. Got a small piece of that one, and it's 0-2. Kucera attended Dalhousie University in Halifax, Nova Scotia. He's a native of Chatham, Ontario, so a hometown guy for this Barnstormers squad. Setting on the rubber is Payano. Takes a peek over at Marcus. Here's the pitch. Kucera lines this one into left field. It'll get down in front of Drew Lawrence and be a base hit. So the Barnstormers are in business with 2 on and nobody out.
Saw that ball, pretty straightforward ball, no break on it whatsoever. And just made good, solid contact out to that left field side. Way over the head of Osika and much too far for Drew Lawrence. So it's a great start. 2 up and 2 men on for the Barnstormers. And that was just good anticipation and a fairly easy pitch coming his way.
So Kucera drives that single, and that'll put 2 on with nobody out for the big bat of Seth Strong, who really needs no introduction with the way that he's played in the Intercounty Baseball League this season. His first year in the IBL, and he's been on a tear to start the year.
He really has, Dylan. You can argue that he is the hottest player in all the Intercounty Baseball League at this moment. An American, actually, a native of Huber Heights, Ohio. Second in average in the league, first in home runs, first in RBIs. He's hitting .404 with 7 homers and 16 RBIs, so he has just been absolutely ridiculous. What an incredible start for him.
1 ball and 1 strike as that pitch misses low from Victor Payano. Majors do have the lefty-lefty matchup going for them, I suppose, Ty, but It's never an easy at-bat with Seth Strong at the plate.
A lot of professional appearances for him. He appeared in 144 pro games in the Pecos, the Frontier, and Pioneer Leagues. Most recently for the Bakersfield Blues over in Northern California.
Here's the 1-1 breaking ball. That one's in there for a strike, and it's 1-2. Payano still looking for the first out of this top of the first inning. Justin mentioned it off the top in our BP8 Fitness pregame show. The last time these two teams played, it was a 15-12 victory for the Majors. Not exactly an easy ball game for the pitchers. Here's the 1-2 home. Breaking ball. Too far inside on Seth Strong there, and the count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Tough call. You could see Payano really wanted that one. He thought he had it. looked to paint that inside corner fairly well, in my opinion, Dylan, but the umpire is going to give Scott the benefit of the doubt for strong, I should say.
So Payano will try here on 2-2. He peeks back at Marcus at second, who takes a pretty healthy lead off the bag. Here's the offering. Swing and a miss, strike three. A big first out there for Victor Payano as he sets down Seth Strong with the fastball.
Well, that is definitely not the player we anticipated to get a strikeout out of the first three, or anyone in this Barnstormers lineup, I should say. But impressive performance there from Payano to be able to strike out the top man, perhaps the top man in all the IBL, as we mentioned. He had a tough call on that inside ball the pitch before. He got the strikeout and then cleaned things up afterwards. So good movement on his pitch from Payano, as well as throwing good heat, too. So bit of everything.
First pitch from Victor Payano to London boy Trent Sillett will miss for ball one. A lot of London area guys on this Chatham-Kent team, Ty.
Yes, several. A lot of them were former majors, too, and good time to make your homecoming here. And the first game, as we mentioned, the original game here in London against the Barnstormers got rescheduled to this rare Tuesday matchup.
That one finds the zone there to Sillett, so it's 1-1. Trent Sillett stands 5'8", 215 pounds, attended South Collegiate Institute in the southern part of London, and was the male athlete of the year there in one of his final years in high school.
He's having a decent year, too, hitting almost 250 with 3 RBIs and 4 runs. So let's see if that hometown advantage can give him anything else. Perhaps an extra edge in this one, Dylan.
On the move are both runners. Here's the pitch. It misses. Throw from DeOlio to third is in the dirt. Plaus can't hold on to it. Luckily, it's not far enough for Marcus to advance. But it'll be a double steal for the Barnstormers, and all of a sudden they've got 2 in scoring position for Sillett.
As Spencer Marcus really bulleted his way across the bags over there. And it was a close play. He didn't see that the ball got by Victor Plaus, but it was a fantastic play in the end to get over there. As you mentioned, both runners went, and that's something actually that General Manager Roop Chanderdat talked a little bit about to Justin in Roop's report. He talked about how the Barnstormers are an extremely aggressive team, score a lot of runs, and we just saw that on full display there.
So 2-1 the count here with 1 out. 2 runners in scoring position for the cleanup man, Sillett. The corners, Plaus and Cardoso, are in while the middle remains back. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. Good breaking ball there from Payano.
And as we mentioned before, in their last 2 games, 13 runs and then 12 runs for the Barnstormers. They already have 2 men on here in scoring position. So the Majors are catching them at a really bad time in their schedule.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Full infield comes in now. Here's the offering from Payano. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Victor Payano, and he's 1 out away from getting out of the first.
Just too hot to handle for Trent Sillett. Sits him right down, and a very crucial strikeout in this first inning, perhaps keeping things from getting out of hand right away for the Majors. So his second of the game, back-to-back strikeouts for Victor Payano.
So that'll bring up two-way player and former London Major Robert Mackey to the plate. He's hitting .321 on the season. Was a Major last year, played in Welland in 2021. Here's the first pitch from Payano. That one misses for ball 1. Mackey, 4 runs batted in on the year. Looking to make that 5 and then potentially 6 in this at-bat.
Another great hitter, hitting .320, Dylan. So many players above the 300 marker on this Barnstormers team.
1-0 count. Here's the pitch from Payano. Swing and a miss, 1-1.
They really have guys that can do it all as well. I mean, they have so many players who hit for average, and then you have, obviously, no shortage of the deep ball hitters on this one, and they're able to really convert when it matters. And when players are in scoring position, they, more often than not, especially over the last 5 games, have gotten them home.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball. Mackey sends that one to the right side past the dive of Cardoso. That'll bring home Marcus. Here comes Casera. The throw from Reichstein is cut off by Payano, and the Barnstormers take a 2-0 lead on the 2-run single for Robert Mackey.
Well, that was an absolutely beautiful 2 RBI single from Mackey. As we mentioned, it's kind of seemed like throughout the entirety of this first inning, it was coming eventually, Dylan. They've just been so dangerous for the last 5 games after a rather tough spell for the team. They've turned things on a dime, and they're showing up one of the best teams in the Intercounty Baseball League right now. Quickly up 2-0.
So Robert Mackey stands at first. That'll bring up Mitsuki Fukuda. Fukuda, a native of Fukuoka, Japan, was signed with the Welland Jackfish prior to the season. Here's the first pitch from Payano on the ground, in the hole again. That one's going to get through, and Fukuda's got a base hit, so it's back-to-back singles for Chatham-Kent.
They're just having an onslaught of offense in this one. It's hot outside. They're hot at the plate. And Payano just wants to kind of calm things down, I bet, here. Tough in his very, very, very first outing. Just having a plethora of fantastic hitters at the plate come against him. And they've all done very well so far. In a very sticky situation. 2 still on, but he's very happy, I'm sure, that 2 outs the Majors currently have right now. He just needs anything to get him out of this inning.
He got 2 big strikeouts earlier on in the frame, trying to get another out any way he can here against Braxton Haggith. Haggith from Glencoe, Ontario, attends Minnesota State University. First pitch is in the dirt for ball 1.
He drove in 3 runs for the Barnstormers. So did Robert Mackey as well, but Braxton Haggith, one of those names. The 2 of them combined for 5 hits and 4 runs. So a very dangerous player, hitting .245 with a homer, 9 RBIs coming into this game tonight.
Haggith, a former Great Lake Canadian, playing out of Dorchester. Payano spins and looks Mackey back at second base. His first disengagement of this at-bat. Want to know the count here on Haggith as Payano tries to limit the damage at just 2 runs. Here's the pitch. That one misses, and it's 2-0.
And you can see the confidence coming out of the batters here for the Barnstormers. Watch that one the whole way through. Haggith, it was fairly outside, and they are just calmly sitting back waiting for their pitch, and they know Payano's off to a bit of a shaky start.
2-0 count. Payano peeks back at Mackey at second. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, 2-1.
Nice job to get the fastball in there. Brought it closer inside than his last pitch out. We really need to see more of that consistency from Payano.
2-1 count, 2 out. Payano sets and delivers. Fouled straight back to the screen. It's 2-2.
And I like that one, Dolan. A fastball inside, fairly around the same height as his last pitch. Just working it in and forcing Haggith to try to swing, potentially making a mistake on it. Go a little bit early, but Haggett's a great at-bat, and he fouls that one off.
2-2. 2 out, 2 on for the Barnstormers. Mackey at second, Fukuda at first. Payano peeks back. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Haggith just gets a piece of that one, sends it into the crowd, and right near the third base grandstand.
Looking for that top right corner on a breaking ball, and it had Haggith reaching for it. Got just enough of it in the end to ricochet behind. Like I mentioned, Dill, tough at-bat here. Payano, potentially a 3rd strikeout coming, would be really crucial to get the Majors out of this inning.
Payano will try again here on 2-2. Here's the pitch. Haggith in the air, center field. Champ Garner a couple of steps back. He's got it, and that will retire the side. So we're through the top of the first here at Labatt Park, and the Barnstormers staked out to an early 2-0 lead.
Yeah, they've done a fantastic job so far, Dylan. So many of their players doing great. Spencer Marcus with a walk. Lee Kucera had a single. As well, the pair of them had stolen bases, as we saw earlier. Robert Mackey with a 2 RBI single. Fukuda as well with a single. And then Payano's had a bit of a tough time so far, although he does have 2 strikeouts to his name. We can just see this might be a long night for the Majors side if the Barnstormers are able to keep up this incredible amount of offense.
You may have seen it there in the first inning. A young fan was gifted a foul ball by an older fan who grabbed it. So cool moment there in the first inning. There you see Eric Pettipies taking the hill for the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. Let's take a look now at the lineup that he's going to have to face for the London Majors in this evening's contest. And Drew Lawrence draws back into the starting lineup here tonight, Ty.
Yeah, as well, we see the name again, Tristan Osika, 2 hits in the last outing versus Hamilton. Eduardo Diolio at catcher today. Caden Cardoso, of course, at first base. Starling Joseph not on the defensive lineman, but he is DHing today. Byron Reichstein back in right field. Victor Plaz over at third, followed by Gibson Kresminski at second, and obviously Champ Gardner rounding things up for the Majors lineup, playing center field today.
Majors hoping that a little bit of a shake-up to the lineup allows them some more runs, and Drew Lawrence putting him at the top. Not a bad idea for Majors manager Roop Chandradat, Ty, because Lawrence has had a great start to the year, albeit in a smaller sample size.
Yes, definitely. Tiny bit of a slump lately for Garner, so he gets put to the back of the lineup in this one, but certainly a player, especially when you get into those later months in the Intercounty Baseball League season, will definitely look to be a big name for this Majors lineup and someone that they have to really rely on getting into the dog days of summer. But they got a lot of capable guys out there right now and need a bounce back. It's rare that the Majors have not had 2 wins in a row in a little while now. Going to get back into the shape of winning things, especially if you're going to remain atop the Intercounty Baseball League, or in that conversation at least. And Roop Chandradat talked about consistency before the game. Majors really have to find that, and they need to show that they have the bats to match that of Chatham's.
So Lawrence steps into the batter's box here, batting .333 on the season in 8 games. Matched up against Eric Pettipies. Here's the pitch. That one's in there for called strike 1.
Be interesting to see Pettipies here. Only very, very small sample size we've got from him thus far after the Tommy John surgery. Only 1 inning pitched on the year, but definitely has some capable hands.
Here's the 0-1. That one misses high. It's 1-1. And Ty, you mentioned just the 1 inning last weekend for Eric Pettipies. Makes you wonder how long his leash is in today's ball game. Obviously, you don't want to overwork him coming off of that surgery. Perhaps a bit of a bullpen day for the Barnstormers. We'll see what the plan is for Dan Norman and his bench as that one finds the zone on Lawrence. It is 1-2.
And I think it was definitely a conscious decision that they played him for so little in their last outing against a weaker Kitchener side, and preparing him for the big start against the Majors, who have plenty of capable bats.
1-2 count here to Drew Lawrence. Pettipies looks to put him away. That one's off the plate outside, and it's 2-2. Two and two count to the Majors leadoff man as a breeze takes over up here in the press box. Here's the pitch, called strike 3. Pettipies freezes Drew Lawrence, and he's the first out of the bottom of the first inning.
Yes, strike 3 looking there. Impressive throwing from Pettipies. Great placement, very technical on the mound, as we can see from early on. Worked it inside and just had his man looking the entire way. Drew Lawrence strikes out in his first at-bat.
So that will bring up switch-hitting shortstop Tristan Osika, and Ty. He's only played 5 games for the Majors, only 11 at-bats so far this season, but he is 7 for 11. That's .636 in the early going for Osika. First pitch from Pettipies in there for a strike.
Yeah, Osika, a player who can definitely make a good impact for the Majors coming forward. He's already been asked to do a plethora of things in the lineup from Roop Chandradat. We saw him get a start the other day in the outfield, really for the first time that his name was called in a major game. And he's filled in quite nicely from what we've seen so far. Like I mentioned before, he had 2 hits in the 6-3 loss on Father's Day versus the Cardinals. So he showed he's both capable defensively and offensively.
0-2 count here on Osika. Fukuda giving a high target here to the lefty Pettipies. A long hold and time called by Osika, granted by the home plate umpire Justin Snively. Pettipies sets out there on the rubber. Here's the pitch to Osika off the plate, and it's 1-2.
Fairly good hitter this year, Osika. Through his first 3 games appearing, over 500 average, actually 500 even, a 600 OBP and a 500 slug.
Osika fouls that one straight back to the screen, and so we'll try again here on 1 ball and 2 strikes. Osika got on in the first inning against Hamilton. Trying to do the same here against Chatham. Here's the pitch. That one just misses. Pettipies thought he had strike 3, but didn't get the call.
And I must admit, I thought he did as well, Dylan. Looked like a good fastball, low and outside. And in fact, I dare say that Osika might have also thought that would have been called for a strike.
2-2, here's the pitch. Osika chops that one on the ground towards second base. Charging hard is Mackey. On the run, throw to first. In time to get him. Good play by Robert Mackey at second, and there's 2 away now.
Mackey, one of the best players offensively, showing he's one of the best players defensively as well on this Barnstormer side. By no means a routine play there. He had to run over with some speed to be able to get that dribbler out between first and second. Strong fielding early on, and the throw was just in time over to Trent Sillett to record the second out for the Barnstormers.
So that'll bring up Eduardo Deolio now, the number 3 hitter in the ball game, with 2 out here in the bottom of the first inning. Deolio pops this one up. It's on the infield. Torin Vasilnak is under it, and he makes the catch to retire the side. So 12 pitches, all it takes for Eric Pettipies to get through the bottom of the first inning. We're through 1 complete here at Labatt Park. Barnstormers lead 2-0.
When you need a night out, Throw London is on point. With an atmosphere that's a cut above, Throw London brings together the best in knife throwing, axe throwing, and darts. So it's the perfect spot for a date night, night out with friends, leagues, and team building for the office. You've got to be 13 or older to throw pointy objects and 19 plus to enjoy their fully licensed offerings. It's the best spot in London for some fun with an edge. London's original knife throwing. Check them out at 2190 Dundas Street East and online at ithrow.ca. That's ithrow.ca.
Back here on Majors TV as Victor Payano heads out for his second inning of work. He'll have to deal with 8, 9, and 1 in the Barnstormers order, led off by Torin Vasilnak.
Vasilnak, who homered and drove in 2 in a 13-3 win over Kitchener. Again, a very capable at-bat, and that was perhaps his strongest game of the season, considering he's only hitting 176, but he does have 6 RBIs to his name. So dangerous on his day, native of Coaldale, Alberta, and attend the University of Arkansas, Monticello.
Vasilnak with 17 strikeouts on the year in just 10 games played, so certainly a strikeout candidate, and Victor Payano will look to set him down quickly. Payano threw 30 pitches in the first inning, would like to be a little bit more efficient as he progresses through this ball game. It'll be Vasilnak, Butcher, and Spencer Marcus due up in this Barnstormers order.
Yeah, Payano just in a tough situation, Dylan. If you look at the grand scheme and the grand picture, hasn't pitched since the opening day of the IBL season for a start. And then he comes into this game tonight facing one of the strongest lineups in all the IBL offensively, at least over the last 5 games. So he's caught in a tough situation. If there's a silver lining, though, he does have 2 strikeouts to his name already.
That one fouled off of Majors catcher Eduardo Deolio. Home plate umpire Justin Koehler will walk out to the mound to give Deolio some time. Looked like that one really shook him up. Payano in his last outing was through two-thirds of an inning, allowed 3 hits, 1 run, 1 strikeout, and no walks against the Barrie Baycats in relief. That was in the Majors' victory in Barrie by a score of 14-9. Deolio appears all right. He will stay in the ball game. 1-1 the count here on Vasilnak. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike. It's 1-2.
Nice fastball from Payano. Good confidence down the middle, and Vasilnak watched it the whole way through.
1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out. Payano trying to set down Vasilnak here. The pitch on its way will miss high. Did not chase, and it's 2-2.
Sticking with that fastball, a little bit upstairs. Has to get it down. I'd like to see this one a little bit inside.
Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So a big first out there by Victor Payano as he records a strikeout.
And that was a nice one. He had some movement on that pitch that was high and inside and had Vasilnak a little bit jammed up. Swing came late, and that's good for Payano's third strikeout of the evening, so certainly the way to bounce back after letting up 2 in the first.
Here's Jalen Butcher to bat with 1 out in the second inning. He rips this one right to Claus, and it goes through his glove. So Butcher will reach here with 1 out.
Unfortunate, a rare mistake for Victor Plaz, one of the best fielding players on the Majors lineup. And it just caught him in the wrong area. Perhaps a little bit unprepared, a little surprised by that one. But it was smacked with some speed towards him by Butcher. And just an error in the end for the Majors.
So Spencer Marcus will step into the batter's box, back to the top of this Chatham order after Butcher reached on the error by Plaz. Marcus walked in his first plate appearance to lead off the ball game. Here's the first pitch from Payano. Marcus gives this one a ride to left field. Moving over Drew Lawrence, and he's got it for the second out of the top of the second.
Yeah, that got there quickly. That was absolutely thumped out to Drew Lawrence. Didn't have to run too far for that one. But showing the bat speed there and how powerful he is. If he got a little bit better of a hold of it, certainly could have made it out of the ballpark.
So Lee Cusero will step into the batter's box for the Barnstormers. Has Jalen Butcher over at first base and 2 out in the inning. He lined a single in his first trip. Butcher takes his lead from first. Here's the pitch. On the ground towards third. Chance at redemption for Plaza. He boots this one too. Here's the throw to first, and it's not in time. So a couple now for Victor Plaza over at third base that he's had some trouble with, and the Barnstormers have 2 base runners.
Yeah, perhaps just a mindset thing at this point, Dylan. A little bit hot outside, a little bit rattled after the first mistake. And the second one coming there almost directly after the first one. Plaz, very capable player. He just has to calm down, get his glove underneath him, and just get the easy outs. But worked out nicely for the Barnstormers.
So the inning gets extended for Seth Strong here. Strong 0 for 1 with a strikeout. He hits this one on the ground towards first. It's a foul ball.
Good news for Plaz is that there's a whole bunch of different out opportunities here for the Majors to end the second defensively. And his mistakes not cost the Majors in any sort of way. Looks like the umpire was checking for some clarification there, Dylan.
I believe on the outs. I'm not sure. There were a couple of Majors players trying to figure something out, and they do realize finally that there are 2 out in the inning. I believe the umpires just simply weren't on the same page on how many outs there were, so they turned and asked. 0-1 the count. Payano peeks back. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball. Strong hits this one hard, and it's foul again. 2 foul balls pretty much in the same spot.
We haven't even talked about that. Seth Strong is up to bat right now. Again, one of the hottest players, arguably one of the best players in the IBL so far this season. Struck out in his first at bat, giving Payano a tough time here. And he has 2 runners on. So potentially really dangerous for the Majors.
0-2 pitch here to Strong. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 strikeouts of Seth Strong for Victor Payano in the early going, and he gets out of this jam.
Well, that's impressive from Victor Payano to bounce back and have 2 strikeouts against Seth Strong back-to-back in his plate appearances. That's 4 on the day for Payano, and he's been playing fairly well so far. Obviously, those 2 men really shouldn't have even reached base if the error was not made by Plaz in the end. But I'm sure he's going to clean up his game moving forward, and the Majors get out of a situation where more damage could have been done on the scoreboard.
The other thing in that inning for Victor Payano, Ty, very efficient through just 11 pitches in that second frame after a 30-pitch first.
Yeah, you mentioned 30 pitches in the first inning. That's extremely high. Needs to get that number down. And obviously that puts him on a bit of a watch here for Brent Wales, Roop Chanderdat, and the Majors pitching staff to see how many innings he will get in. So 41 through the first two. Definitely higher than he'd like. We'll see if he can make it to the 5th, 6th, maybe even 7th, but I have a feeling it might be earlier than that, Dylan, if the pitch count stays relatively the same.
If he continues with some 11-pitch innings, he'll be just fine, but trying to sort that out as he continues on in his outing. On the other side, Eric Pettipies used just 12 pitches to get through the majors in the first inning. Looked really, really good. Got a strikeout of Drew Lawrence looking, a ground out for Tristan Osika, and a pop out of Eduardo De Olio.
And for someone who hasn't been playing very much baseball in the last year or so, coming off surgery, pretty confident performance so far from him. I like the pitching style, very sidearm style going towards the plate. He has a good, confident fastball. Can get some movement on the pitches, too, when he wants to. And he sat down the Majors lineup in order, but has to deal with one of their best hitters so far, Caden Cardoso.
Caden Cardoso comes into the ball game riding a 12-game hitting streak up to this point this year. Has hit in every game the Majors have played.
Yeah, Cardoso, a really fantastic player on this Majors lineup, especially offensively. And with the score 2-0 right now, Roop Chanderdat needs him to have a big night on the plate.
First pitch will miss to Cardoso. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Cardoso will be followed in this inning by Starling Joseph, the designated hitter, and Byron Reichstein, the right fielder. 1-0 from Pettipies. Upstairs, 2-0.
Cardoso hasn't gone deep in a little while, although he has 3 home runs on the year towards the top of the Inter-County Baseball League. So potentially a feeling in the air that he could go deep anytime, almost like a ticking time bomb, especially a player with the caliber of Cardoso, just waiting for that next time that he rocks one out of the park.
3 balls and no strikes here to Caden Cardoso as the ball 4 chants rain down.
Might be a scarce crowd, but they're being heard loud and proudly, Dylan.
3-0 is in there for a strike. Cardoso hoped it would be ball 4, but did not get the call he was looking for.
Yeah, I think that was a pretty fair call from the umpire. Cardoso trying to convince him with a walkover, but a nice pitch from Pettipies. Counts at 3-1.
Still a hitter's count for Cardoso. That pitch hit hard through the hole. It's a base hit, and that hitting streak for Caden Cardoso now extended to 13 games.
Cardoso, nice at bat there. Watched it the whole way through. Thought he might have had the walk earlier, but just hankers down and hits a clean one out past the shortstop and the third baseman.
So the Majors have their first hit of the ball game, and that'll bring up Starling Joseph to the plate. Joseph actually had his hitting streak snapped on Sunday. It was at 6 games before Sunday's contest, and he went 0 for in that game, 0 for 4, with a strikeout and a hit by pitch.
And we talked about on previous broadcasts, Dylan, how Starling Joseph is just one of the best hitters on this Majors team, if not the entire Inter-County Baseball League. But unfortunately for him, just hasn't had the home runs to his name, something that I'm sure he's going to want back.
Snap throw to first there. Cardoso back with a dive.
He's only got 1 on the year, but he's hitting .349, a .429 OBP, 12 RBIs, still tied for second in the Inter-County Baseball League. And just such an impressive player. The home runs will come eventually.
Here's the 1-0 pitch to Joseph on the ground. That one's going to get over the head of Sillett into right field. Cardoso charging hard around second. He wants third. Here's the throw from Spencer Marcus. It is on the money, but it's bobbled by Strong, and Cardoso is safe.
Well, that was an absolute rocket of a throw from Spencer Marcus. It was perfectly on time in the right location, but Seth Strong was not able to make the play on it. So it's unfortunate for the case of Spencer Marcus. That would have been perhaps one of the highlights of the entire Inter-County Baseball League season if he was able to make that throw to third. But smart of Cardoso to go around, knew it was going to be a tough play in the end, and he's in scoring position with no outs in the bottom of the second.
So that'll bring up Byron Reichstein. Runners on the corners, nobody out. Reichstein went deep with a 2-run home run on Sunday to make it at the time a 5-3 game. That was Reichstein's second home run of the year. Only one official at-bat in that game. He was hit twice and walked once on Sunday, so 1 for 1 with a homer. First pitch is inside from Pettipies for ball 1.
Another player on this Majors lineup is hitting around the 300 range. 500 OBP and 500 slug as well. 2 homers, 4 RBIs. And a very, very solid player.
Reichstein in the air to left field. Tagging from third is Cardoso. Catch is made by Haggith. Here comes the throw to the plate. It is cut off by Seth Strong. It's a sacrifice fly for Byron Reichstein, and the Majors are on the board.
Well, that's exactly what Reichstein can come and do for this lineup. Just hit a nice, confident ball. That's all he really needed to do on that play. Did his job perfectly and gave more than enough time for Cardoso to just prance home nicely. And gets in there, so the Majors within 1.
2-1 game. Runner over at first base is Starling Joseph, and Victor Plaz will dig into the batter's box for London. Plaz a chance at redemption here after a couple of errors in the second inning. Luckily, they didn't cost the Majors any runs.
Yeah, and an uncharacteristic defensive performance so far, might I add, Dylan, because he's really been one of the best fielders on this Majors team throughout the 2024 season. And he's definitely going to want those back, but can certainly prove how good he is from the plate, hitting over 300 on the year. Homer to his name as well, 7 RBIs.
Here's the pitch to Plaz. That will miss high for ball 1. Want to know the count here on Victor Plaz with 1 out in the bottom of the second inning. That one will miss inside, and it's 2-0. Plaz in control.
Plaz in control, and we're, for the first time in this game early on, really starting to see Pettipies struggle a little bit. And obviously that's going to come after a little bit inconsistency coming after a long time out with surgery.
Inside and low to Plaz. It skips away from Fukuda, but Joseph didn't see it, so he won't advance.
And you can only hold this Majors lineup off for so long, and it only took them 1 inning to get back into the swing of things. Pun absolutely intended. As they've already scored 1 and only 1 out in the inning, and you still have Starling Joseph on first.
Here's the pitch to Plaz, taking all the way, and it is ball 4 as the fans wished for. So there's 2 on with 1 out for Gibson Krasminski.
So the perfect response from Victor Plaz after 2 defensive errors. Walks his way over to first, a great at-bat. Saw a lot of pitches loom inside on him. Nothing too difficult in the end that he had to really watch out for. But Pettipies struggling a little bit now. And the Majors 2 on with only 1 out.
So Gibson Krasminski into the batter's box. Another switch hitter in this Majors order today. There's a pair of them in Osika and Krasminski. You see the ball flowers leading the ball 5 chance after a 4-pitch walk to Plaz.
Dylan's also Gibson Krasminski's 26th birthday today.
He squares around the bunt. Going to be a tough play for Pettipies off the mound, and Krasminski's going to beat it out. So a sacrifice bunt attempt that becomes a bunt single, and the Majors have loaded the bases with 1 away.
That was great placement on that one, and in the end, Pettipies just did not make the throw. Took a look over at Starling Joseph making his way to third. Potentially could have been easier for him. Check back at first, and before you know it, Gibson Krasminski with a birthday single, Dylan, to load the bases for the Majors early on. And they got a chance to turn this game completely around. And how poetic would it be if it came from Champ Gardner after struggling the last couple outings for him, getting back to his prolific ways. Bases loaded. What an opportunity.
So Garner has a chance to drive home a couple of runs. 1 out here in this second inning. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball. Garner rips that one down the left field line. If it's fair, it's trouble. It is just foul. Garner gave that one a pretty good ride, but maybe a foot or 2 foul.
Oh, that looked good, Dylan. It really did. Hit it on a line traveling out towards Braxton Haggith's side, and fortunately for him, just dropped, I imagine, only a few feet of that third base line. But a solid hit from him right away, swinging Champ Gardner. He really wants to drive a couple home here. And I'm sure all the Majors thought it was going to be a hit as well. Every single one of them on base made their way around.
So 0-1 count after the long foul ball for Champ Garner. Pettipies ready out there on the rubber, peeks back at Plaz. Corners are in, middle is back, hoping for a double play. Garner swings through that one, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, just really wants this. As I mentioned before, Dylan took a really hard shot at that one. Pettipies knew that Garner would be ambitious at the plate, and now he's in a tough situation, down 0-2.
Pettipies trying to put him away for a big second out. Here's the pitch. Garner fights it off, stays alive. We'll try again on 0-2.
Good fastball. I like that from Pettipies. But Champ Garner smartly fouls it off, keeps himself alive, and still in a favorable position to score a run.
Pettipies shakes off Fukuda. Now gets the sign he wants. Here's the delivery. Garner fouls that one straight back to the screen. So we'll try once more on 0-2.
Yeah, sticking with what's comfortable for Pettipies. Didn't want whatever the first call was, I can only imagine, was going to be a breaking ball, and wanted a fastball. Went right back to it, high and inside, forced Garner to foul off once again.
0-2, one out. Joseph at third, Plaz at second, Krasminski at first. Here's the pitch from Pettipies. Inside, it hits Champ Garner, and that will force in a run.
Also caught Fukuda in a bad position, but Starling Joseph across to score. And with that walk, a great plate appearance from Champ Garner. Getting back to his normal ways. Scores another one, ties the game for the Majors. And still, they remain with 3 men on base with only 1 out.
So a mound visit coming up here for the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. Eric Pettipies just trying to calm things down in this second inning. Had a pretty smooth sailing first against the top of the Majors order, but since then it's been trouble in the second.
Well, not just a pretty smooth sailing. I mean, you mentioned on 12 pitches, he's sat down the lineup in order from Lawrence Osika and Iolio, and now it's been the complete opposite. Cardoso really opened the floodgates with Joseph, Reichstein, Plaz, Krasminski, and Gardner. Every single player has gotten on base for the Majors, except for Byron Reichstein, who had the sac fly that ended up scoring the first run of the game, with Caden Cardoso coming across. So Pettipies sees now what he's been missing from baseball. Perhaps doesn't miss these extremely tough times here, and he's in a very tough predicament against this Majors lineup. Back to the top of their order now. But if there's a silver lining, he gets against a player who he recorded his only strikeout against so far, Drew Lawrence.
Lawrence 0 for 1 on the day, as you mentioned. He squares around to bunt with the bases loaded, gets this one down. Pettipies can't go home. Throw to first is in time. So a run will score on a safety squeeze from Drew Lawrence.
Great positioning on that one from Drew Lawrence to help score another one for the Majors. And that's got to feel good. Victor Plaz getting in there, scoring a run. As we mentioned, after a bit of a tough time he's had defensively. And he keeps the Majors, although he's out at first. The Majors have 2 in dangerous positioning. Garner out there, as well as, I believe, Gibson Krasminski. But a nice job, and the Majors take the lead just like that, Dylan.
So 3-2 London, and Tristan Osika will step into the batter's box. Here's the first pitch from Pettipies. Osika hits that one hard towards shortstop. It's bobbled there by Vaselinak. Here's the throw to first. It's not going to be in time. So Osika beats it out. We'll see if it's ruled a hit or an error. Either way, the Majors now up 4-2.
And I don't know, it just seems like the shortstop position is cursed today, Dylan. Or I should say, not the shortstop position, but the both short and the third baseman, anywhere between second and third. Seems to be a cursed place for the fielders in this one. Another mistake, this one coming, though, from Torin Vasilnak. Would look to be a routine play for him. The ball just dribbled, took the perfect bounce for the Majors right off of his glove, up into his chest, and gave more than enough time for Osika to earn an RBI single. And the Majors doing really well at another one, up 4-2 now.
Here's the first pitch to Eduardo De Olio. It's off the plate, low and outside for ball 1. DeOlio 0 for 1 on the day. Popped out to shortstop in his first trip to the plate to end the first inning. 4-2 London lead. It has been ruled an error on the shortstop Vasilinac as that one's lined to left by DeOlio. Charging in the left fielder Braxton Haggett. He's got it. And the side is retired, but not before the Majors played 4 in the inning. They're up 2 as we head to the third on Majors TV.
Hello, my name is Jim Nutter with Nutter's The Award Store. Come along with me on a virtual tour to take a look at our amazing products and services that we're able to provide to you to help you with your recreation needs.
Beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home.
Joseph crushes one.
Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and the athletes. Whether it's in the rink with the Knights or on the field with the Majors, Game Day London has you covered from the start. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com, sponsor of Majors TV.
On Majors TV, Chatham and London from the Forks of the Thames on a hot Tuesday evening. The Majors score 4 in that bottom of the second inning, and they lead by a pair of runs.
After being sat down in order from Pettipies on only 12 pitches in the first inning, completely turned things around. And just an onslaught of offense. Cardoso, Joseph, Reichstein, Plaz, Krasminski, Gardner, then to the top of the order, Lawrence and Osika. All putting towards an offensive show out here in the second from the Majors. Really displaying why they're one of the top teams hitting-wise in the Inter-County Baseball League on their day. And quickly add 4 to their tally, snatch the lead, and it's a 2-run game.
So Chatham trying to get back in this one. It'll be Trent Sillett, Robert Mackey, Mitsuki Fukuda, 4, 5, and 6 in their order against Victor Payano. Payano trying to continue cruising along as he did in the second inning. Here's the first pitch to Sillett. It's lined back at the screen, 0-1.
Sillett, another player who played college ball at Goshen College in Indiana. Native of London, hitting .244 on the year with 3 RBIs and 4 runs.
0-1 home, just off the plate outside. It's 1-1.
It's a good opportunity here for Payano to demonstrate a little bit more consistency in an 11-pitch inning last time out. So I'd really like to see more of that.
That one will miss high. Sillett checked his swing. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Elsewhere in the IBL tonight, Brantford is in Guelph. They are tied 1-1 at the top of the second inning. Offering on its way, hit by Sillett out towards second base. Krasminski bobbles a little bit, throw to first, stretch from Cardoso, and it's in time for the first out.
And it just seems like all across the infield tonight, Dylan, a lot of bobbled balls, a lot of near mistakes, and just plain out mistakes. And we saw Krasminski make a good recovery there. Originally got out of his hand, but then was able to get things under control, throw it over to Cardoso. And he had more than enough time to make that play. But what should have been a pretty routine out became a little bit closer to call from Krasminski.
First pitch is off the plate outside to Robert Mackey for ball 1.
Mackey, in his first outing, had that 2 RBI single.
Swing and a miss, 1-1 there.
native of Vancouver, British Columbia. As I mentioned before, combined with Braxton Hageth for 5 hits and 4 runs. They drove in 3 apiece for the Barnstormers in their last outing on Sunday versus Kitchener.
Mackey gives this one a pretty good ride, but it's well foul, and the count now is 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Made it well out, looming towards the back fence there. Might have even made it outside of that, behind down the first base line, the bleachers. As you can hear, quite a bit of pop to his bat, Mackey. And a really terrific hitter.
1-2 count, 1 out. Payano trying to set down Mackey for the first time tonight. Here's the pitch. Fouled straight back at the screen, and we'll try it again on 1-2.
It was a pretty good pitch from Payano, a nice fastball, a bit outside. Not the easiest for Mackey, but he's able to get enough of it. Smacks it backwards, keeps himself alive.
1-2 on its way. Checked his swing. Did he go? Yes, says the home plate umpire and the first base umpire. It's strike 3, and there's 2 gone.
So a breaking ball gets Mackey. A good delivery on that one from Payano. Struggled a little bit earlier to get that under control. And now he has. And he's done a good job. 5 strikeouts to the first 3 for Payano. Keep an eye on that number as it can only go up throughout this one. And sits down the dangerous Mackey for the first time this evening.
So Mitsuki Fukuda into the batter's box for the second time today. He hits this one on the ground to shortstop. Charging hard is Osika. On the run throw to first. It is in plenty of time, and the side is retired. A quick inning there for Victor Payano.
Yeah, good job by Payano, and good job defensively. Obviously, that one is actually, I think, that play off the hit from Fukuda. That might have been the first routine ground out that we've seen in this one that really made it across cleanly from Osika. No mistake there. And has done a good job so far for the Majors.
So good play there from Tristan Osika. We will now send it down to field level. Here is Justin Koehler.
So we haven't seen a ton of success from him tonight, and we mostly talk about him for his defense. But one player who's started to heat up over the past few games is the catcher, Eduardo Diolio. He had a bit of a slow start to get the season going with just 7 hits across 8 games with 9 strikeouts right off the bat for the season. But since then, he's really started to turn things around, nearly doubling those numbers with 6 hits in his last 4 games, including a home run. All that compares with these with spectacular numbers from last season, where he hit .333 with 13 homers and 41 RBIs. And that's one of the key things that Roop Chanderdat, co-owner and GM, says why he's so confident that he'll get back to those numbers this season. And he says that Diolio is one of the key players and that he's needed if this team is hoping to get a championship berth. And so let's send it back over to Ty and Dylan in the Game Day London press box to continue with the bottom of the 3rd.
Justin, thank you. We are up here in the Game Day London press box, as you mentioned, and it's been a pretty good ball game for the Majors so far, up 4-2. Ty mentioned Eduardo Diolio, 0 in the ball game today, but the offense contributing without really a big hit in that last inning. It was a lot of chipping away, some singles, a sacrifice fly, a sacrifice bunt, a lot of small ball for the Majors.
Yeah, small ball, the perfect way to describe that last outing for the Majors. 4 runs total, and we saw it got started from the sac fly from Byron Reichstein, and it scored Cardoso there. So they've done a really fantastic job after a very slow first inning to completely flip the switch, have 4 in this one, and we can really see why their last outing versus the Barnstormers was a 15-12 final game. A lot of offense, and it's looking like it could get to close to those numbers in this one.
So Caden Cardoso will lead off the inning here for the Majors. Cardoso 1 for 1 on the day, hit a hard single in the hole to left field in his last trip. The left-hander Pettipiece deals. Cardoso sends this one in the air. Not overly deep to left field. Haggett, the left fielder, charging in. He will make the catch. And there's one gone in the bottom of the 3rd.
Talked about the Majors, how successful they were at the plate in the 2nd inning. And that was also because slacking off just a little bit, Eric Pettipiece had to deal with more of the core of the Majors lineup, especially getting to Cardoso, Joseph, Reichstein. And the Majors really showed him up there, so he has to gain a little bit of his confidence back. Tough for a player coming off such a long injury.
Pettipiece threw 2 1/3 innings, on 36 pitches. Starling Joseph into the batter's box now for the Majors. 1-for-1 with a line drive single to right field. Here's the pitch from Pettipies. Misses for ball 1. Pettipies sets, nods and delivers. Breaking ball, Joseph takes high, and it's 2-0.
Joseph's been having some good looks at the plate so far. Didn't hesitate on either of those. Watch them go by him. Just waiting for his pitch.
2-0 count. Here's the pitch inside. That one nearly clipped Joseph, and it's 3-0.
Yeah, Pettipies has to calm down. 3 balls in a row here. Tough last outing. And it's only going to get more difficult as the game goes on. But no one in the bullpen so far for the Barnstormers.
That one finds the strike zone, and it's 3-1.
You know that Starling really wants to rip one outside of Labatt Memorial Park. Potentially a green light here on 3-1.
Here's the 3-1 home from the lefty. Off the plate outside, ball 4 to Joseph.
Yeah, way too far outside there off a fastball that was really nowhere close. And a pretty easy at-bat for Joseph. A lot of the fastballs were exaggerated high and wide, so we didn't have to get too much attention towards the pitches coming towards him. And he makes his way to first base, so a single and a walk so far for Starling Joseph through his first 2 appearances.
That'll bring up Byron Reichstein. Sacrifice fly in his first trip to the plate as that one's inside for ball 1. Reichstein with that sacrifice fly, still with just 1 recorded at-bat in his last 2 games. That was the home run on Sunday against Hamilton. That one will miss, and it's 2-0. Sorry, go ahead, Ty.
Sorry, I was just going to say, Pettipies, we've seen a lot of balls go outside. That's now another quickly 2-0 to the batter. He has to calm down, Dylan. Get in control here, or his outing won't last too much longer.
Quick throw over to first base, and Starling Joseph back with a dive. Pettipies overall in the ball game has thrown 22 strikes out of his 43 pitches, just over 50%, but has been missing the zone a lot more recently. Here's the pitch. Reichstein in the air, foul territory. Seth Strong and Braxton Haggith both going out towards the Majors bullpen, but that's about 10 or 15 rows deep, and it's a foul ball.
Yeah, a really long run that amounted to nothing in the end. Didn't even land close.
Yeah.
But they both went.
They did. You'll love to see the effort from the Barnstormers there.
100%.
2-1 count here on Reichstein with 1 out, and Joseph standing over at first. Here's the pitch from Pettipies. Right shot, hits that one hard. Stopped over there at first by Sillett. He'll go to second for 1. On to first, double play. A 3-6-3 double play off the bat of Byron Reichstein ends the bottom of the 3rd inning. We head to the top of the 4th with the Majors up 4-2. Ty White on the call. When we come back, you're watching Chatham and London on MajorsTV.
Get suited up with us for our big night. We went to Collins Clothiers. They had suits and tuxedos in various colors and styles. The staff helped us pick exactly what we wanted. They custom fit our suits for the perfect fit. They even matched us to our date's dress. It was so much fun trying on suits with the boys on the VIP night. They even got us pizza while we tried clothes on.
For prom kids, of course, are going to be the best dressed.
We felt so confident and looked amazing.
Welcome back, folks, inside Labatt Memorial Park in downtown London, Ontario. The Chatham-Kent Barnstormers in town for the first time this year and in their history. Visiting the London Majors, we could see a Barnstormer shirt. It has been sweltering outside today, absolutely boiling. Good time for a Hawaiian shirt, and what a fantastic one that is from the Barnstormers fan there. Got some beautiful attire. What a way to make an entrance in their first ever Intercounty Baseball League season. If you're just joining us, Majors are up 4-0 over the Barnstormers. Scored 4 in the second inning of play, but were sat down last time from what was a beautiful double play. Ended up being turned by the first baseman, Trent Sillett, who made a fantastic play. The ball was hit really hard towards him by Byron Reichstein. Incredible knee-jerk reaction. Threw it over to Robert Mackey and back across. So a nice double play to be able to sit down the Majors, who were doing quite well offensively after scoring 4 in that second inning. Shut out in the third. And we're back to Victor Payano on the plate. He's going to be facing Braxton Hageth, Torin Vasilnak, and Jalen Butcher coming up. Hageth in his first at-bat had a flyout. And Payano has really gotten things more under control. As he led up 2 in the first inning, a lot of players for the Barnstormers got on base. And he was able to change that around in the second. And in the third as well. The toss from Payano. In there for a strike. That had a lot of movement on it. Curveball that was coming down and landed on the outside part of the plate. It froze Hageth. He watched it the whole way through. Fastball is swung on. It's going to be lined out. It was dropping down nicely. Had some curve on it. And it's going to get past Drew Lawrence, making his way all the way around to second, and a double play in the end from Braxton Hageth. So a nice hit from him. That had some movement on it. It was crossing outside, looked to be lined at first, but then took a hard turn left and dropped. Haven't seen too much wind here today in London, Ontario, so that was just credited to the nice hit. Good bat speed from Hageth. And he'll earn himself a double. Hageth on second, and Torin Vasilnak steps back in, playing short today for the Barnstormers. First pitch for Payano is swung on for strike 1. Hageth on second is jumping around. Payano has a look back there, and a potential bunt attempt in the end amounted to nothing from Vasilnak. Payano looks towards the plate to get his signal. Could see definitely the hot foot of Hageth moving around. Payano checks back at him once again before the toss. A fastball is swung on. It's going to be lined out all the way to Drew Lawrence, who this time is in the perfect position to make that play. And a pretty routine out, so a fly out there from Vasilnak. And in steps Jalen Butcher, DHing today. Had a bloop single in his first at-bat. One of 2 bloop singles so far that was hit towards Victor Plaz. Definitely looking to get his defensive stature back. But he walked in his appearance on the plate, so made up for it in that sense. And 1 down here for the Majors as they lead by 2 runs. Payano will eventually turn and watches it, but no Major was home there for the potential throw and tag out at second. So Braxton Hageth continues to toy with Victor Payano. Once again looking back, and Hageth makes his way back across. Be interesting to see if Gibson Kresminski does come over for a potential tag. But Payano just giving him warning so far. Kresminski does come back across, but the run will be made by Haggett. DeOlio trying to throw him out. It gets by him. High off the glove of Plaz. And it looked like he wanted to come around and go home there, Haggett. Doesn't in the end, and probably smartly so, as covering for Plaz was Osika, ready to make that throw home. Doesn't have to in the end, but a runner will advance, and a stolen base for Braxton Haggett. So a double and a stolen base. Count is at 1-0. And still only one out. 2-run game. Be interesting to see if Haggett is able to get across here. This could be back and forth all night long. Payano outside there, so it's 2-0 with one out. The 2-0 from Victor Payano. Haggett in scoring position. Breaking ball gets down right over the plate. Watched it the whole way through, Butcher, and it's 2-1.
Majors at this stage of the game have the infield in. They want to cut down Braxton Haggett to the plate, or at least keep him at third with one out.
So the 2-1 for Payano. Fastball is swung on. Had Jalen Butcher there. Evens the count out at 2 apiece. And a nice pitch in the end from Payano. Payano currently sitting on 5 strikeouts this evening, looking for 6. And trying to sit down Butcher for the first time this evening. Fastball over the plate. Payano pointed to the mound, or to the home plate, looked like he wanted something there. Nothing in the end, but the count moves to full.
Now it misses in the dirt there to Jalen Butcher, excuse me. We'll see what Payano comes with on 3-2. I think it's got to be a fastball up top, perhaps, to try to set down the number 9 hitter.
Yeah, Butcher very much inside, crowding the plate a little bit. And looking for any sort of contact here to bring home Braxton Haggett. The full count is swung on, kept alive. That looked like it was going to be well high, though, Dylan, off a breaking ball upstairs. Nonetheless, Butcher fouls it off, and the count stays at full.
Yeah, that one up top, and Butcher gets a piece of it, fouls it off, but didn't look like it was going to be a strike. You're right, Ty.
A late decision. Could have got him on first, but he keeps himself alive at the plate instead. Full count from Payano. Is swung on and nailed out to the right field side. Got past Caden Cardoso at first and will score the 3rd run of the game for the Barnstormers. 4-3 now off an RBI single from Jalen Butcher.
Really good piece of hitting there by Jalen Butcher. It was a fastball from Victor Payano on the outside part of the plate, and he went right with it, slapping that past the dive of Caden Cardoso. If the infield is back on that play, that's probably one that Cardoso makes, but because the infield was drawn in, trying to keep that runner over at third base, it just does sneak past the reach of the first baseman, and it allows another run to score for the Barnstormers.
So Braxton Haggett got on with a double, stole a base, and then came in from the RBI from Butcher. What a showing that was offensively from Braxton Haggett. Showed off the speed as well as Spencer Marcus checks back in. He has a walk and a stolen base to his name and flew out in his last at bat. Payano looking over at first as a hard fastball gets in there for a ball too far inside. Payano's really been checking out these last 2 base runners. First it was Haggett. Now peeking over at Jalen Butcher. Seen the Majors earn quite a few pickoffs and tags throughout the course of the season. Potentially more of the same as he has a good look over at Butcher. Fastball upstairs. DeOlio trying to make the throw across. They got him! What a play from the all-star catcher, Eduardo DeOlio.
Really smart play there by DeOlio and Cardoso on both ends. That's a high fastball, which means it's a perfect pitch to throw on for Eduardo DeOlio. And right there, he got the perfect pitch, got up, fired a strike over to first. Cardoso was ready for it. He knew that his pitcher, Payano, was going to be invested in those runners on base, a little bit distracted even out there on the mound, so he took it upon himself to erase the runner at first.
We were just talking about, Dylan, how all season long they've been no strangers to pickoffs. And a beautiful throw there, perfectly on time, just like it's been all season long, from Eduardo DeOlio over to Cardoso to record the second out in the bottom of the fourth. Payano has that one swung on. It's going to be lined right over to Victor Plaza. Long throw will not be caught in the end, and it wasn't going to be in time regardless. So a single for Spencer Marcus.
Strange play there. That one not hit in too tough a spot for Victor Plaza. Kind of took his time on that throw. Marcus runs pretty well. And you said it, Ty. He was going to beat that out whether Cardoso was able to dig it out or not. And the result is Cardoso can't quite pick it, but the runner was going to reach either way.
So back now in the batter's box, Lee Kucera. 2 singles so far in this one. One of them was a bloop, but he also has a stolen base to his name. Payano once again will look across as a base is trying to be taken here. It's going to be well foul, though. So Marcus is going to have to make his way back to first. And once again, we're seeing a lot of stolen base opportunities here with that aggressive mentality that Chatham has.
Not only the aggressive mentality that Chatham has, Ty, but when Victor Payano is not working with the slide step out there on the mound, he's pretty deliberate in that leg kick, and that really allows Chatham a good opportunity to run, allows anybody a good opportunity to run. Not sure what the solution is for Payano, whether the slide step's too far out of his comfort zone to come with on every pitch, but a team like Chatham, they're going to run a lot if he keeps it up.
Fastball is swung on right to the glove of the Majors defense, and Osika flips it to second to Kresminski, and that will retire the side, but not before the Barnstormers able to add 1 to their tally.
Yeah, Chatham gets 1 in that inning thanks to Braxton Haggith and his aggressive base running, a stolen base of third, and then the single from Jalen Butcher allows the run to score. So Chatham gets on the board again here, and they've made it a 1-run game. This is kind of exactly what we saw in the game in Chatham, back and forth, a close one all throughout. The Majors pulled it off 15-12, I don't think, and I actually quite honestly don't hope we get a 15-12 game here tonight, but a close ball game on a Tuesday night is never a bad thing.
It would be an absolute slugfest if it got back towards those kinds of tallies, but we've seen some great baseball so far, very much back and forth. Majors lead by 1 run, and they'll be back on offense now. The only inning they've scored in, the second, with 4 runs coming in that one. And they've got a decent part of the order coming back now. Victor Plaza walked Gibson Kresminski, had that sack bunt that ended up earning him a single, and Champ Gardner walked as well. So what can you tell us so far, Dylan? What have you seen in this Majors hitting performance?
Well, the Majors offense has been pretty patient up there at the plate. They've recognized that Pettipies at times has had trouble finding the strike zone, and the result has been several walks as there's action now in the Chatham bullpen. Getting loose for the Barnstormers is a right-hander in case they need him. Looks to be Sam McKinley warming in the Barnstormers bullpen. We aren't too sure what the pitch count is on Eric Pettipies. He's at 45 pitches through 3 innings. But just to go back to that previous point, with these walks the Majors are drawing, these good at-bats they're putting together, they're running that pitch count up.
Making it tough on Pettipies, who's been having a bit of a tough outing ever since that first inning. Quite a few Majors have made it on as Plaza is going to bulge his way forward. Looked like it might have been a bunt opportunity, but doesn't end up getting any contact in the end, so he's down 0-1.
Plaza checking where that pitch was with the home plate umpire. He pulled back thinking it was going to miss low for a ball, and the result was a called strike.
The 0-1 from Pettipies. Fastball going well inside. Plaza slid back just a little bit while he was moving forward simultaneously. The count at 1-1. Plaz will take a hack at this one. It's going to make his way right up to Vasilenak, though. And the long throw across to first is in time to sit down Victor Plaz.
Yeah, that one off the end of the bat off a good pitch from Eric Pettipies. Plaz just rolled over on it, went to Vasilenak, the shortstop, and strong throw over to the first baseman, Sillett, for the first out. Exactly what you want if you're Pettipies. A quick out to start the fourth.
So back in is Gibson Kresminski. Singled in his first appearance. 1 for 1, although it was certainly an error. In the end, from the Barnstormers defense, that it left an ambiguous ball off the bunt that dribbled kind of in between home plate and the mound, a little bit to the left-hand side. And in the end, the throw wasn't made over to third to get out Starling Joseph or over to first, and was just held onto by Pettipies. Kresminski will take a hard chop at this one, but it's past him, and he's down 0-1.
I think that bunt was perfectly placed off the bat of Gibson Kresminski. Really tough spot for any of the Barnstormers to field it. The third baseman, Seth Strong, would normally get that one, but he was staying back at third in case there was a play there.
Back-to-back big swings from Kresminski off 2 fastballs from Pettipies, and he's quickly down 0-2. To Kresminski. Watched that the whole way through. Low and in the dirt off another fastball. Kresminski trying to work himself back in to an even count.
Not enough movement on that pitch for Kresminski to chase. He saw it all the way, and a good take.
1-2 with 1 out in the bottom of the fourth. Kresminski chops one out, a dribbler over to Seth Strong, and in the end it's a pretty hefty throw over in time, well in time, and that's back-to-back pretty routine outs here. Fielding for the Barnstormers.
Yeah, a little bit of weak contact to start this bottom of the fourth inning for the Majors. Plaz didn't hit one very hard out to shortstop, and then that one chopped off the bat of Gibson Kresminski to the third baseman, Seth Strong. Strong with a strong throw to first base, and Trent Sillett had to make a nice stretch there to haul it in.
So Champ Gardner helped to score a run when he walked in his last at-bat. As he's going to slice one out, it's going to be directly to Mackey over to first. And just like that, the inning is over. So the score remains Chatham-Kent 3 to London Majors 4. They lead by 1. And when we come back, we'll see more of the Barnstormers offense. You're watching Majors TV with Ty White and Dylan Baker.
Get suited up with us for our big night. We went to Collins Clothiers. They had suits and tuxedos in various colors and styles. The staff helped us pick exactly what we wanted. They custom fit our suits for the perfect fit. They even matched us to our date's dress. It was so much fun trying on suits with the boys on the VIP night. They even got us pizza while we tried clothes on.
The prom kids, of course, are going to be the best dressed.
We felt so confident and looked amazing.
Welcome back to downtown London. Here at the Forks of the Thames, we've been praying for a breeze here at Labatt Memorial Park, and we're getting a little one now after a scorching hot day. You're just joining us, the London Majors leading the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers 4-3. We've seen a lot of good offense so far, and Seth Strong checks back in, the Buckeye. One of the top players in the IBL this year, but he does have 2 strikeouts to his name today, Dill.
Yeah, Victor Payano's done a good job against Seth Strong and setting him down a couple of times, including in some big spots, so we'll see how he does here.
gets to lead off in the order for the first time as he's going to rip one to the side of Gibson. Kresminski gets past his glove and will give more than enough time for Seth Strong to waltz his way in for his first hit of the evening.
Yeah, that one hit pretty hard, Ty, off the bat of Seth Strong there, and Gibson Kresminski just didn't get the glove down and went right underneath it into right field, so that allows Strong to reach.
So Strong was 0-2, now 1 for 3 on the day. Another player is 0-2. Back in now, Trent Sillett with a strikeout and a ground out as well. But another very, very good bat. Payano's first pitch, fastball high, well high.
Sillett squares to bunt on that first pitch there for the Barnstormers, trying to use some small ball to get Seth Strong up to second base and put him in scoring position. We'll see if they leave it on. Took a long look down at third base coach Don Menard there.
Payano once again looking back at first. We'll keep track to see if any more runners do go as this bunt attempt is flicked high and way behind, fouled off. Hit the back netting. And the count at 1 apiece.
For a moment there, I wondered whether Eduardo De Olio would have a play on that baseball or not, but it was hit way too far back for that off the screen.
Payano staring directly across at Seth Strong. We saw the pickoff earlier off a fastball that De Olio caught and threw towards Cardoso to punch out one as all the Majors infield moved in there quickly, preparing for perhaps another bunt attempt.
That one inside on Trent Sillett, and he was squaring around yet again. The Majors tried to crash and get ready for it. I thought that one might have caught the inside part of the plate, but no dice as the home plate umpire.
Sillett went 1 for 4 in the 13-3 win over the Kitchener Panthers on Sunday. 2-1 from Payano is swung on, an amazing reach across. It's going to be in time for Mosica, trying to turn a double play. Only gets one in the end, but what a fantastic diving effort from Tristan Osika to record the out at second base in time to Kresminski, and he just flicked the glove nicely. What a play there, Dylan.
Great play by Tristan Osika. That's a really tough play for him. A, because the ball was hit so hard off the bat, but B, because he's in double play depth, trying to turn that 2-ball, so he's shaded more towards the second base bag. That one hit towards the traditional shortstop position. Osika lays out, nabs it with the glove, realized he actually had a shot at second base, and a beautiful flip, a backhand flip to get the out at 2.
Just immaculate timing from Tristan Osika. A player who at the beginning of the season didn't even get any time, wasn't officially in the lineup yet, and now is more and more consistently being worked into the Majors squad, and he's showing that he deserves it. Another one hit directly towards his area, and another diving attempt gets by him this time, too far, and a single is on now for Robert Mackey, so he's 2 for 3 on the day.
That base hit there for Mackey, allowing 2 runners on for the Barnstormers. Just to go back to that previous point, we didn't see much of Osika in the early going this season because he was still wrapping things up at school. But ever since he's come to the Majors, he's had his fair share of chances, and he's been terrific both offensively and defensively in the pinstripes.
Tough play for him on that last one that dragged him way far to his right. Attempted the diving play. Trying to do back-to-back diving plays. That really would have been something. But they're going to have a little discussion now. Payano, Brent Wales on the mound to talk things over with the Majors as they only have 1 out in the top of the 5th. 2 men on for the Barnstormers, and they're definitely in a position to take the lead right back.
Absolutely they are. The Barnstormers are pressing. It's the middle of their order. It's a good spot for them to drive home some runs. There is action now in the Majors bullpen as Jonathan Henry is beginning to get loose for London, but he's just starting to throw, so he's not anywhere near being ready to go in this ball game. He's getting loose in the Majors pen, and we'll see if he's the next man out. In all likelihood, it will be him. Payano's pitch count at 76 pitches, and he's in a tough spot right now as you get a look at Henry throwing on our Game Day London mobile camera.
76 through the first 5, and he still has work to do. The Majors went through 3 pitchers on Sunday versus the Hamilton Cardinals. Payano's first offering upstairs to Mitsuki Fukuda. Fukuda 1 for 2, singled and grounded out. It'll be definitely an opportune time for a double play coming from the Majors defense. Fukuda's going to rock one back towards Champ Gardner, and the run will be made here. But the throw was fast and in time, so swings his way back to second. The Barnstormers still have man at second. And that man at second is Trent Sillett, and obviously Robert Mackey continuing to be over on at first. But it was a good hit, had some speed on it, but nonetheless, we'll record another out for the Majors off the Fukuda attempt.
Solid contact for Mitsuki Fukuda, and well played by Champ Garner out in center field, tracking that baseball down. Got the throw in time. Trent Sillett faked as if he was going to tag up on that play, thought better of it when he saw the strong throw from Garner.
We still have action coming from the Barnstormers bullpen, and it is Sam McKinley as that fastball in there for a strike to Braxton Haggith. Haggith really had a great job offensively in his last outing, a double as well as a stolen base, and he ended up scoring a run in the end. Very fast player, very capable, and could be dangerous here as there's still 2 on for the Barnstormers. Trying to tie things up or take back the lead, as this one is hammered backwards, fouled off quite harshly off some of the woodwork here at Labatt Memorial Park. And another youngster gets a ball, Dylan.
Yeah, the 8U London Talons team is out and about at the ballpark today. They were on the field for the national anthems, and 2 of them are walking away with baseballs tonight.
Bayano to Haggith, the 0-1. Swung on by Haggith. It's going to be pushed back into an ambiguous area. Gardner has to make the run, and it is well in time. Coming in nicely, hit directly out into that center field area and makes the catch to retire the side. So the top of the 5th done. We go to the bottom of the 5th, and the Barnstormers were not able to do anything further offensively there. I'd like to take this time to thank Through Thick and Thin Pizza for feeding our broadcast crew.
Yeah, huge thank you to Through Thick and Thin Pizza for some delicious pizza once again today. It's always so good, Ty.
And you made the pickup today, Dylan. Good on you, as we will have a pitching change. It's officially going to be the end of the night for Pettipies, and in comes number 9, Sam McKinley, for our first pitching change. All pitching changes are presented by Throw, London's original knife throwing.
My name is Amy, and I am a league member at Throw London. When I first started, I had no experience and was super nervous. But before I knew it, the awesome lane coaches and the other league members who are like family jumped in, gave me pointers, and helped me out. Don't forget to book your event at Throw London.
Thanks so much for that from Throw. So Sam McKinley replacing Eric Pettipies in relief, the native of Tilbury, Ontario, a right-hander. And he has some work to do, Dylan.
Yeah, Sam McKinley trying to keep this a 1-run ball game in the bottom of the 5th inning. He's pitched in 6 games this year, has a 1-1 record, an 8.43 earned run average across 16 innings pitched. An interesting little tidbit with McKinley, we might see him for a couple of innings. He might be an extended relief guy for the Barnstormers. He's not started a game this season out of his 6 outings, but has yet to pitch less than 2 innings in an outing this year. His last time on the mound was against the Barrie Baycats on Friday night in the first game of that 2-game series. Through 3 innings, allowed 3 hits, 4 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, and walked a batter. So trying to bounce back here on this Tuesday night against the Majors.
Potentially a shift here for the Majors, as Drew Lawrence might have come out for the game, but looks like number 97, Ty Mosher, checking in, Dylan.
Yeah, Ty Mosher, the left-handed hitting middle infielder, will take over for Drew Lawrence in this spot. And Mosher, a guy batting from the left side. Majors manager Rube Chenerdat did not want to see him in the starting lineup against the lefty Eric Pettipies. But now that the righty Sam McKinley is into the ball game, Mosher is going to get a chance to hit in the spot of Drew Lawrence.
So Drew Lawrence was playing in left field. We'll see how that shakes things up defensively for the Majors, if at all, when they go back out. But for right now, they're back at the top of the order. Should be appearances from Mosher, Osika, and Diolio guaranteed. The very first offering from McKinley is fired right back towards him, calmly in his glove, and over to first to record 1 out on 1 swing. And Mosher sat down.
If that doesn't get you into the ball game, I don't know what does. Right back to the mound, and Sam McKinley has to make a quick grab on the ground ball from Ty Mosher. So a good start for the Chatham-Kent right-hander.
McKinley played some college ball at St. Clair College on the border at Windsor, Ontario. He stands 6'2", 190 pounds on the mound. An 8.43 ERA through 6 appearances, 16 innings pitched. Fastball inside. You can see quite a bit of heat with that fastball to Osika. And it's 0-1.
Osika on the day is 0 for 2, batting from the left side for the first time.
Osika will rip one. It was carrying out short in the end, but sounded very, very potent off the bat. He's going to be sat down again. So in 3 pitches, it looks like McKinley's already retired too.
Hey, good job. Good efficiency from McKinley up to this point. Osika hit that ball pretty hard, gave it a pretty good ride out to center field, but right there was Lee Casera, the center fielder, to make the catch.
So back in, Eduardo De Olio at the plate now. Had a fantastic pickoff. Received a high fastball, got it over for Cardoso for another out. And we've seen him do that all year long for the Majors, Dylan. 0-1. Also checked in with Justin Koehler before. He was talking about how De Olio has really picked up his game offensively as well as defensively as the season's progressed. As De Olio's going to take a hack at this one, it's carrying back. 3 members of the Barnstormers will make a run over towards it, but well foul in the end. So De Olio's down 0-2.
De Olio hitting .255 coming into this game on the year. A pretty significant step below the .333 average we saw from him last year. 13 home runs last season, 4 up to this point this year. So the home runs have not been a problem, but not quite hitting for the same high average we saw in 2023.
Still top 5 in the league for home runs as he's going to fly one out, throws the bat down, a bit frustrated with himself there. And an easy catch in the end from Robert Mackey to round out things in the 5th inning. So 2 scoreless innings here, back-to-back. And just like that, we will go to commercial when we come back. London Majors continuing to lead the Barnstormers by 1 here at Labatt Memorial Park. Turning things down, starting to get dark outside after what's been such a hot one. But you're watching MajorsTV.
Hello, my name is Jim Nuther with Nuther's The Award Store. Come along with me on a virtual tour to take a look at our amazing products and services that we're able to provide to you to help you with your recreation needs.
Welcome back, folks, inside Labatt Memorial Park at the Forks of the Thames. The London Majors currently leading the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers in town for the first time for their entire history. Leading 4-3, Ty White alongside Dylan Baker on MajorsTV. And Dylan, it's been a pretty good one so far.
It has been. It's a 4-3 ball game as we enter the 6th inning. Victor Payano's done a pretty solid job on the mound. He's had his little spurts of trouble out on the rubber, but for the most part, he's been very, very good from the left side. And on the other side, Eric Pettipies had a couple of troublesome innings. The one that really sticks out, obviously, the second, where he allowed all 4 runs that the Majors have scored in this ball game. But aside from that, a good pitching performance on both sides. The offense has really employed the small ball for both the Majors and the Barnstormers. Majors with no extra base hits in the ball game so far. To my knowledge, to my memory at least, they used the small ball to get across in the 2nd inning, and the Barnstormers have been using it throughout the contest.
So Vasilinac back at the plate now. Victor Payano, through the first 5, has 5 strikeouts to his name. but hasn't recorded one in 11 at-bats. Fastball upstairs for 1-0. Vasilinac 0 for 2 on the day. He struck out and flew out in his last 2. Another hard swing, and Payano gets the first strike of the 6th inning. So it looks like Gibson Kresminski in left field now. Ty Mosher at second as we saw that replacement of Drew Lawrence. And another fastball for a swing from Vasilinac. That counts at 1-2 now. Really got that fastball going for him, Dylan.
Yes, he does. Victor Payano with a good fastball. Just to go back to your previous point about the defensive substitution, Gibson Kresminski, a super utility man. We wondered how the defensive changes would shake out with Lawrence out and Mosher in, and Mosher goes to second base.
Fouled off there. Count still at 1-2. Kresminski, a very capable left fielder. And we saw Ty Mosher 2 games ago make the start in second for the Majors, so he's familiar with that position. So capable hands all across the Majors lineup as this one, a poached softy, makes its way back and fouled off onto the back netting. But keeping himself alive at 1-2, Vasilinac. Payano, the 1-2. Hits DeOlio in the chest, drops on the ground, but it was outside nonetheless. They count even at 2 apiece.
I think that was actually a foul ball tie. I think it was a check swing foul off from Torin Vasilinac. That was the signal from the home plate umpires. The count will remain 1-2 here.
So count still at 1-2 after getting a small piece and fouling it off. Vasilinac looking to get on base for the first time this evening. The 1-2 upstairs for a ball. Now the count moves to 2-2.
Yeah, high fastball there from Victor Payano. I don't mind that location with 2 strikes. Trying to get the chase there from Vasilinac. Just he was too patient at the plate.
Opportunity for a 6th strikeout of the evening, Payano. The pitch to Vasilinac is low. Low in the end. Count moves to full. Top of the 6th with 0 out so far.
You don't want to lose Vasilinac here, the number 8 hitter in this Chatham-Kent order, a guy who's 0 for 2 on the day. An important pitch coming up for Payano.
The 3-2 fastball upstairs got Vasilinac swinging, and Payano sits down the 6th of the game for the Majors, recording the first out. And Vasilinac looks rather displeased with himself there.
Yeah, some frustration from Vasilinac and a lot of energy from Victor Payano. Worked his way back in that count, did the right-handed hitter Vasilinac. Payano had to battle through it, and eventually he was able to record the strikeout for a big first out of the 6th.
Vasilinac moving now to 0-3 on the day. Was that one in there for a ball to Jalen Butcher, an RBI single. Also a bloop single, so technically he's 2 for 2 on the day. Has reached base both times, hitting pretty well for the bottom of the order. Very calm night here at Labatt Memorial Park. The heat is chilled down. Clouds are out of the way, and some blue skies can be seen as that ball is well outside on a fastball.
It's turned into a great night for baseball despite the heat. I mean, we're still sticky and warm up here, but the blue skies and a little bit of breeze throughout the evening has made it quite enjoyable.
The fans are doing us, not the cheering fans, I should say the mechanical fans up here. The Majors press box be doing us a world of favor, Dylan.
They sure have been. Oh, my goodness. I don't know what I'd do without them.
The 3-0 to Butcher in there for the first strike of this at-bat. 3-1. Caught him on the outside corner. Butcher in a very favorable position, up 3-1. And that went in there for strike two, a fastball that moved more inside. Payano fights his way back to make this a full count.
Real good pitch on the inside corner there from Victor Payano, the big lefty. Well located against Butcher. If he did make contact, he wasn't going to be able to get his arms extended at all.
Potential for back-to-back strikeouts. Payano outside on another fastball. And that's the third time today Jalen Butcher reaches base.
A little bit of frustration from Victor Payano out there on the mound. That's walk number 2 on the day, and back-to-back hitters who have reached full counts. He'd like to be a little bit more efficient if possible. And he issues the walk there to Butcher after he was able to get the strikeout of Veselinak. So now he's got a base runner with one away in the inning, and the pitch count climbing up near 100 pitches, which will lead to some action in the Majors bullpen.
Yeah, we've already seen plenty of that so far for the last 2 innings now. Jonathan Henry more than likely to come in for replacement. And this is probably the last inning for Payano. Chopped up, and Majors will make the chase from Spencer Marcus. Cardoso makes the play. Quite a far run for him. Pays off in the end. And it's 2 down for the Majors in the top of the 6th.
Yeah, good play there from the first baseman, Caden Cardoso. Those balls are so difficult for the catcher to make a play on. Deolio popped out of the crouch and raced over as quickly as he could. But even if he gets there in time, he's got to turn his body around, get himself all set up. So Cardoso taking charge, making the long run, and making the grab as well.
Lee Kucera, 2 for 3 on the day. The stolen base to his name. 2 singles. And grounded out in his last at bat. Payano, the fastball upstairs inside. And he's got Kucera swinging for strike 1.
The location still good for Payano as he threw his 98th pitch right there, up and inside. Nothing Kucera could do with that offering.
A lot of out opportunities here for the Majors. 2 down. Payano, fastball, swung on. It's going to be a dribbler to Victor Plaz, trying to make the long throw to first. It's going to be in time, according to the umpire. Victor Plaz with a gorgeous throw across, had to be on time. Made the play nicely and makes up for his prior defensive mistakes in this game.
Really good play by Victor Plaz over there, the third baseman, charging that slowly hit ground ball very hard, executes a strong throw to first. It was a bang-bang play, and a good stretch from Cardoso to get the out.
So it looks like there will be a pitching change eventually for the Majors. And we're going to throw it down right now for a little bit more info on the game from our friend Justin Koehler.
So everyone who's watching the game live at home, there might be some great opportunities to actually come down to the ballpark coming up in the near future. We just had our Pack the Park event, which was an incredible success here at Labatt Memorial Park. And next up to the plate is the Home Run for the Hungry campaign, which will be coming up this Friday night. It's a great opportunity to come down and support a really good cause. Home Run for the Hungry supports the London Food Bank in partnership with Radcliffe Team Real Estate. During that event, every kid who shows up to run the bases, the London Majors will be donating $10, which is spectacular, and Radcliffe will be donating $100 per home run during that game as well. And for everyone who decides they want to show up for that event, be sure to get in a little bit early as well, because there's set to be some free Majors swag and some T-shirts being handed out before the game. So it's a great opportunity to maybe get a nice shirt and support a great cause. And so let's send it back up to Ty and Dylan in the Game Day London press box to continue with the bottom of the 6th.
Thanks so much for that, Justin. Great cause indeed. Great time to be at Labatt Memorial Park. The weather's beautiful throughout the summer. We've seen a lot of great sport throughout the summer. Major League Baseball, all 30 teams in action tonight. Red Sox at the Jays and the Tigers at the Braves for some of the local teams. And hockey, it's Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final currently underway. Edmonton at Florida. They're in Sunrise. An opportunity for the Panthers there to lift the Stanley Cup and take after the Boston Celtics, who beat the Dallas Mavericks 4-1 last night, lifted the Larry O'Brien, their 18th NBA championship. Jaylen Brown named MVP. The Euros have been going on. Turkey had a great game against Georgia today, likely the game of the tournament so far. And in golf, Bryson DeChambeau in North Carolina winning the U.S. Open. We get more, a nasty pitch there. Great movement on it from Sam McKinley, who stepped in the game and has done so confidently, Dylan. Scoreless so far in his outing.
Yeah, McKinley used just 6 pitches to get through the bottom of the 5th inning.
Throwing to the ever so capable Cardoso. Fastball outside, and he's got quite a bit of heat behind his hot stuff. Cardoso 1 for 2 on the day, single, and he flew out in his last at bat. Fastball looming outside once again. Counted 2-1.
Yeah, trying to work Cardoso off the plate outside. Nothing that he can get the barrel to, and those last couple of pitches just missed off the plate.
We mentioned Cardoso's hit earlier was good for his 13th in just as many games. And the streak continues for him. As that one again outside, 3-1, favorable for Cardoso. The Majors still lead by 1. The ball 4 chance, raining in. Cardoso takes a big swing at that one, had the green light to do so. Count moves to full. Cardoso waits patiently. The delivery from McKinley. Fastball outside. Got Caden Cardoso swinging. Sits him down, records his first strikeout of the evening.
Good fastball there from McKinley. A lot of zip to that pitch, as you were alluding to earlier there, Ty. And Cardoso just chases after that one off the plate outside. And there's a big first out for the Chatham-Kent right-hander.
So Starling Joseph, Dominican Dynamite, as we like to call him, checking back in. Has a single and a walk. He's made, or gotten on base, I should say, in his first 2 outings. Facing the third now. First time he has faced Sam McKinley. McKinley great in relief so far, as this one is smacked towards Vasilinac. The throw over to first, well in time to immediately retire Starling Joseph. So he grounds out and does not reach base for the first time this evening.
Good play there by Torin Vasilinac over at shortstop. A relatively routine play as Joseph spiked that one into the ground off the bat. He records the out.
So back in again, Byron Reichstein, the bottom of the 6th. 2 outs. No one on for the Majors. And they still lead by 1. Against such a dangerous offensive team like Chatham, they should look to increase that lead for some padding there in case a comeback is imminent. Fastball high and upstairs for ball 1. Krasminski, sac fly and an RBI to score the first run of the game from Caden Cardoso. And it's technically 0 for 2. He's up 2-0 in the count right now, though. The third offering from McKinley. Fastball again outside. It will be painting the top left corner, though. A beautiful pitch there, but the strike zone seemed to maybe have expanded just a tad, Del.
Yeah, close pitch on the corner. Could have gone either way. The crowd certainly thought it was a ball.
McKinley fastball back towards the inside now, and what I thought might have been a strike there the other way around is called outside, so 3-1. Krasminski looking to get on base, or I should say Reichstein looking to get on base for the first time. The crowd telling us that ball 4 has arrived. Reichstein reaches first. He walks and gets on base for the first time tonight.
Good patience in the plate by Byron Reichstein. He was looking for one pitch, and he did not get it, so he took all the way, did not swing at a single offering in that plate appearance, and works a walk. His second walk in as many games. He's really ramped it up at the plate in terms of base on balls this season. He's gotten more walks than strikeouts pretty late in the year for one of the first times in his career.
The Montreal native Victor Plaz checks back in. Ball 5. Down and away. Ball 6 chance. Oh for 1 on the day. Victor Plaz, he only walked back in his first at bat. Grounded out last time. Took a swing at that one, and the count is at 1 apiece.
Yeah, Plaz let it rip on a pitch that was pretty close to where he likes it, but just got under the bat there, and a swing and a miss.
Still 2 outs for the Barnstormers as Plaz, a dribbler, goes right to the glove of Vasilinac throws over to second, and the Majors are easily retired. The Majors still leading by 1 by a score of 4-3 in the bottom of the 6th inning. When we come back in the 7th, Dylan Baker will take over at play-by-play. You're watching Majors TV with Ty White and Dylan Baker.
When you need a night out, Throw London is on point. With an atmosphere that's a cut above, Throw London brings together the best in knife throwing, axe throwing, and darts. So it's the perfect spot for a date night, night out with friends, leagues, and team building for the office. You've got to be 13 or older to throw pointy objects and 19 plus to enjoy their fully licensed offerings. It's the best spot in London for some fun with an edge. London's original knife throwing. Check them out at 2190 Dundas Street East and online at ithrow.ca. That's ithrow.ca.
Back here at Labatt Memorial Park, we've got a pitching change brought to you by Throw London, London's original knife throwing. On to the ball game is Jonathan Henry for the 5th time this year, Ty.
5th time this year, has a 4.50 ERA thus far in 4 game appearances. He's pitched exactly 4 innings, 4 strikeouts to his name, as well as 4 walks. A lot of 4s across the board for Jonathan Henry, but definitely a capable man in relief, and will officially retire Victor Payano. We knew that one was coming after a fairly high pitch count from him this evening.
Yeah, Payano got up to 99 pitches before he was removed after the 6th inning. Overall, not a bad outing. It'll go down as a quality start for Victor Payano. 6 innings, 3 runs allowed, and he will turn things over to the Majors bullpen and Jonathan Henry, who will have no small test in this frame. 3-4-5, Seth Strong to lead things off. That one on the ground, it is going to roll towards fair territory, and Caden Cardoso gives it a kick to keep it foul. It's 0-1.
I mean, the Euros in Germany are in full swing, so that kick came at a fitting time. But he did make the run in the end, Seth Strong. He singled in his last at-bat. 1 for 3 on the day. And although he is 1 for 3, still an uncharacteristic performance from someone who is the hottest hitter in the Inter-County Baseball League this season.
Yeah, across the board, Strong right near the top in every offensive category, only trailing Hayden Jaco in batting average this season. Everywhere else, Strong appears to be the leader. That one hit hard down the line. It's a fair ball. That's going to be trouble. Strong charging around first. Reichstein scoops it up, and Strong stops at the bag. Here's the throw in. It will come to second. A long turn from Seth Strong, and he'll retreat back for a single.
Looked like it was almost certainly going to be a double for the Buckeye, but in the end, a nice play from Byron Reichstein. Quickly got over there in right field, made the throw over to Ty Mosher at second, and did not even allow Seth Strong to fully make that run over there and commit. So a very good play in what it could have easily been a double for Seth Strong. He's now 2 for 4 on the day, though.
So Trent Sillin into the batter's box. He squares around a bunt, gets this one down to Henry. He'll throw to first. It's in time. And the sacrifice bunt works to perfection, pushing the tying run over to second base.
So Ty Mosher keeping good company now with Seth Strong. Strong earlier, that was a nice hit right down that first base line. Bit too far and a tough angle for Caden Cardoso to make the play. And he's comfortable at second right now with only 1 out.
1 away, Strong over at second. Robert Mackey at the plate. Here's the first pitch from Jonathan Henry. Drops in there for a strike to Mackey, who is 2 for 3 on the evening.
And that's exactly what Henry can do. Had a nice bit of movement on that ball. Dropped in perfectly on the top left-hand side of the plate. The oh-so-dangerous Mackey had a 2 RBI single in his first at-bat. Singled in his last at-bat. As you mentioned, Dylan, 2 for 3.
Didn't like that last call. He's behind in the count, 0-2 here. Henry sets and delivers on the ground towards shortstop. Osika to his left, bobbles it. Going to be a tough play. There will be no throw. So the bobble cost the Majors, and now there's 2 on with 1 out for Chatham.
It's just the cursed infield tonight, Dylan. So many plays. We've seen a plethora of errors in the infield. And that, I believe, is the first error of the evening for Tristan Osika. We saw some great fielding from him earlier off a diving attempt. Able to get the out at second. But this one, a bit too wobbly to handle for his glove. And so Robert Mackey makes his way on to first.
We've got a pinch hitter into the ball game here. It is Dan Battelle, the former London Major, taking over for Mitsuki Fukuda. Called strike 1 from Jonathan Henry.
And Battelle had recorded an RBI, 2 RBIs, matter of fact, in the 15-12 loss versus the Majors. Last time these two teams faced.
Line drive caught by Mosher, spins to Osika, double play. The Majors get out of it. Mosher a nice grab, Osika covering second, and Jonathan Henry escapes the jam.
Well, that's how you do it, replacing Drew Lawrence in the game. Ty Mosher with a fantastic defensive play, able to get the ball over to second and was turned to first in time to punch out Fukuda. Or excuse me, to punch out the pinch batter, Daniel Battelle, the former London Major. He sat down quickly. Majors turn 2, importantly so, I might add, as the tying run was at second and set strong.
Big outs there for the Majors as it is stretch time at Labatt Memorial Park, and we do have some bad news to announce and to share on the broadcast at this 7th inning stretch. Baseball legend Willie Mays has passed away at the age of 93 years old today. Very sad news for the game. Willie Mays, one of the all-time greats, Ty.
Really is, and helped to redefine the sport of baseball as we know it. Took off in popularity, some great years in San Francisco, and had one of the best gloves, and I'm sure actually he would not be too pleased with the fielding performance in this game thus far. There have been quite a few errors, but rest in peace to one of the all-time greats, Mr. Willie Mays.
No easy way to transition off of that one. Rest in peace to Willie Mays. Let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard tonight. Lots of games across different sports. Ty, you ran us through them earlier. In the IBL, Guelph leads Brantford by a score of 2-1 in the bottom of the 6th inning. In Major League Baseball, the Blue Jays taking on the Red Sox. Blue Jays lead 3-2 in the top of the 7th. Stanley Cup final continuing this evening. At the first intermission, the Edmonton Oilers up 1-0 in the Florida Panthers thanks to a shorthanded goal by Connor Brown. Ty, do you think the Oilers pull off the reverse sweep?
I think it would certainly come at the right time. I'd say if they go on to win this game, I think they go on to win the series. Florida has proved to be an extremely tough team all throughout the playoffs, but all Edmonton really needs is a little bit of momentum going their way. Has been an entertaining series, but that last game, 8-1 victory, they really made up for all the offense they were missing out on in the first 3 games.
Absolutely they did. Try to continue that here tonight. So leading off the inning for the London Majors is Gibson Krasminski as the crowd continues Sweet Caroline. Trying to figure out who is behind the plate here for the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers.
It looked to be like a number 13 to me, Dylan.
13?
But we already have Vasilnak.
My guess is number 10, Ty. I believe that's Greg Kemble behind the plate.
We'll get 100% confirmation for you shortly. I believe you are right, though. It does appear to be Greg Kemble. Of course, we saw a little bit of a change as Daniel Battelle went into pinch hit.
Justin Koehler telling us it's number 10, so that would be Greg Kemble. Swing and a miss there, 2-1.
So Kemble replacing Mitsuki Fukuda.
Two on the count. Here's the offering. That one lined off the bat of Krasminski into left field, so that will drop in for a base hit, and it's a leadoff single for the Majors.
Nice hit there from Krasminski. He is now 2 for 3 on the day. And the Majors really need to keep up offensively here. They haven't done much in their last 3 innings. In fact, nothing in their last 4 innings. It was only that second inning, Dylan, where we saw 4 runs scored for the Majors. A real push of offense. They've slowed down since then, but they can't slack off just yet because Chatham's still very capable at the plate and could turn this one around instantly.
Quick throw over to first base to check on Gibson Krasminski, and he is back with a dive safely. Champ Garner into the batter's box, 0 for 1 on the day. Hit by a pitch and grounded out. Squaring around a bunt is Garner. Misses the throw down to first. A snap throw from the catcher, Kemble. And a good play by Trent Sillett, the first baseman, to come down with that baseball.
Yeah, that could have easily gone over Sillett's head in the end. Obviously, Kemble trying to make a name for himself early on in this one, showing some confidence to even make that throw over. Trying to take a page out of Eduardo De Olio's book. In the end, way too high.
A bunt from Champ Garner here, right back to the mound. It's bobbled, going to be a tough play. Throw to first, not in. No, they got him. They got Garner. Really close play at first base, and Champ Garner is retired for the first out on the sacrifice bunt.
Almost too close to call there. Tough call for the umpire in the end. It looked like to a fair few faces around Labatt Memorial Park that Champ Garner was safe at first. They're going to call him out as McKinley was bobbling that ball, another one that was hit towards him. More trouble fielding in the infield, but it did get there in time. I'm sure if we had instant replay, though, Dylan, might be a safe Champ Garner at first.
Ty Mosher steps into the batter's box, called strike 1. Looked to me on that bunt off the bat of Garner that McKinley was just rushing it, thinking about potentially going to second to try to get Krasminski. And wound up nearly not even getting the out at first, but the close play goes the way of the Barnstormers. 0-1 count here on Mosher, 1 out. Krasminski in scoring position. Breaking ball, that one can't find the zone. It's 1-1.
And we saw that prolific defensive play from Ty Mosher to turn 2 earlier. Sitting at second base now for the Majors. Moves Krasminski over to left field. And a very, very capable player, similar to Osika, someone who can step in a role in relief, either pinch hitting, play some good defense when you need him to, and is also a good at-bat.
2-1 count here to Ty Mosher. Krasminski signaling, take a breath, relax. Big spot. Majors would love to add on some insurance. They lead by 1. It's 4-3. Here's the pitch from McKinley. Off the plate for ball 3.
Nice at-bat here for Ty Mosher. Did well in his last at-bat as well in his first time checking in the game. And now has the potential to move it to 2 men on base for the Majors.
3-1 count. Here's the pitch from McKinley. Breaking ball high for ball 4. So Mosher takes a walk, and it's first and second with 1 out.
Sliding downward, almost a slurve there, but it was way too far outside. Not able to get that one under control, McKinley. Perhaps a little nervous because of how good Ty Mosher has been. But Mosher makes it over to first. 2 men on for the Majors now. Osika back up.
Osika 0 for 3 on the day. Trying to get into the hit column as the ball 5 chance begin. Pitch from McKinley. Osika hits this one hard to second base. Could be 2. Mackey onto Veselinak. Throw to first. In time. Double play. McKinley rolls the 2-ball and gets out of the jam. We're through 7 complete here from Labatt Park. The Majors hold on to their 1-run lead.
Go beyond the scores and get to know the athletes who call the Forest City home.
Joseph crushes one.
Game Day London brings you in-depth stories and conversations about London's major teams and the athletes. Whether it's in the rink with the Knights or on the field with the Majors, Game Day London has you covered from the start. For fresh and engaging sports coverage, visit GameDayLondon.com, a proud sponsor of MajorsTV.
Back now at Labatt Memorial Park for the 8th inning between the Majors and the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. It's 4-3 in favor of London as they had a good chance in that last inning, Ty, to extend the lead and could not capitalize.
Yeah, they couldn't capitalize in the end. A good showing of defense, and ultimately was a beautiful play Robert Mackey ended up making. Helped to turn two, and it was an unfortunate call looking back, as we really thought that Champ Gardner would have made it safely to first and not been another out there, but it goes the other way for the Majors. And now a chance for the Barnstormers to potentially tie things up as we are dwindling down here in the 8th inning.
So top of the 8th, Braxton Haggith into the batter's box, 1 for 3 on the evening. Jonathan Henry out there for his second inning of work, only threw 8 pitches back in the 7th. Very efficient there, as the first pitch will miss to Haggith for ball 1.
Yeah, Henry had some good movement on his pitches too. Very technical pitcher. Not as much of the speed, more location. And he's got some nasty stuff in his arsenal.
1-0, big swing and a miss from Haggith there, and it's 1-1.
Very well placed fastball. Going low and away, had Haggith chase that one. Haggith has had a pretty good night. Scored a run himself, also has a double to his name and a stolen base.
Hard hit ground ball to shortstop. Osika plays it on the backhand. Throw to first. Cardoso the stretch, and they get the out.
I mean, perfect placement and fielding on that play from Tristan Osika. Looks like he's been playing short all year long, and he's just done a fantastic job there. That throw was perfectly high, so Cardoso didn't have to make too much of a reach, right in his glove. Made it comfortable for him and ultimately got the out for the Majors. So still a good defensive showing from Tristan Osika.
So one away in the top of the 8th inning, and Torin Veselinak will step into the batter's box. Henry sets on the rubber. Here's the pitch. Veselinak hits that one hard to third. Plaz bobbles, scoops it up. Throw to first is not in time. It's going to get past Cardoso and into the Chatham-Kent dugout. So Veselinak will take second on what is likely to be ruled the third error of the night for Victor Plaz.
Yeah, it was too bad that Veselinak was making that run really quickly, but Plaz just let that get away from him. The throw coming very wild towards Kidd, and Cardoso wasn't able to make the play in the end. And just like that, Veselinak, for the first time this evening, he's struggled. He was 0-3 before, now 1 for 4. He reaches second.
Pinch hitter coming on here for the Barnstormers tie. Jalen Butcher is done for the ball game.
And it appears to be number 4, Anthony Polowick.
First pitch to Polowick is in there for a strike, 0-1. So Polowick in a run-scoring spot as a runner over at second base. He will slide into that DH role. Here's the 0-1. On the ground towards first, but it's a foul ball.
Polowick's hitting .286 on the year with 4 RBIs, 6 runs. He's capable at bat. And the Barnstormers really need his efforts here.
0-2 pitch to Polowick is off the plate outside, 1-2.
Just wasn't able to get a full grasp on that one. Henry way outside.
Polowick 2 hits this season against the Majors, both coming in that last matchup between the two teams, as that one skips away from DeOlio, and that will allow Veselinak to move up to third base.
So Veselinak well in scoring position now for the Barnstormers. And what an opportunity Polowick has just coming into the game. Has a chance to tie it.
So 90 feet away is the tying run here in the top of the 8th inning. Torin Veselinak at third, as that one is fouled off by Polowick. And we'll try it again on 2-2.
Henry was looking high and outside with that fastball there. Polowick got enough to chop it off. Smartly so, keeping himself alive. Maybe looking for more upstairs and inside now hasn't been able to quite get that pitch under control, Henry.
Here's the pitch. Fouled off by Polowick. Infield is in here for the Majors, trying to cut down that runner at the plate.
And that pitch was high and inside. Once again, though, fouled off by Polowick. So a good first at bat for him, keeping things interesting.
Breaking ball misses high. Now, a little bit of controversy because the home plate umpire is saying that is now 2-2. The scoreboard says it was 2-2 before. I had it as 2-2 before, but the umpire says 2-2 now, so it is 2-2.
Yeah, I think we all thought it was 2-2 already there, Bill.
Henry sets out there on the rubber. Big pitch coming up, trying to put away Polowick. In the air. Left field, not very deep. Krasminski initially broke back, now coming in, and it gets by him. Coming in to score is Veselinak. Throw to second is not in time, and Anthony Polowick has just tied this game up.
Well, Anthony Polowick got away with one there. That ball was chopped in high, parachuting its way out to shallow left field. Originally, it looked like it was going to be a pretty routine play for Tristan Osika, who had to trot back a little bit, but the ball continued to carry, and Krasminski had to scramble his way across to try to make a play on it. Was too far in front of him. Diving, sliding attempt from him. No good in the end, and so a double for Anthony Polowick in his first at-bat, and also scores the tying run for the Barnstormers. We're all square.
Henry not out of the woods yet. Go-ahead run is at second base. Here's the pitch. It's in there for a strike to Spencer Marcus, who's 1 for 3 on the day.
1 for 3, also has a walk to his name, though, and a stolen base. Hitting .390 on the year.
Breaking ball loops in there for strike 2.
And this is what Jonathan Henry needs. He really needs a strikeout here. Hasn't recorded one yet.
Oh, 2 to Marcus. Peeking back is Henry. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Catch is made by DeOlio. Frustration on the face of Marcus, and there's 2 away.
A 7th major strikeout this evening. The first coming from Jonathan Henry. And what an important time to do so, sitting down Spencer Marcus. It was a very dangerous and potent bat. But he's not quite clear yet. Only 2 outs so far on the top of the 8th. And a man still at second. Polowick.
Lee Kucera in the box. First pitch from Henry in there for a strike. 0-1.
3 strikes in a row there from Jonathan Henry. Nice and inside towards Kucera.
Henry dangles the right arm. Now comes set out there on the rubber. Peeks back at Polowick. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball on the ground towards third. Plaus coming in. Takes his time. Throw to first is off the mark again. Well, Kucera reaches.
Victor Plaz, ambitious there, fielded it perfectly. The throw looked to be in the right place. It dragged Cardoso a little bit off the bag there. Perhaps a little bit premature from him. And one will reach with a man at third now. Polowick sitting at third. Kucera ends up getting that single.
So Majors manager Roop Chanderdad heading out to the mound to talk with Jonathan Henry. Lee Kucera over at first base, reaching on what is ruled a single. The go-ahead run is at third base in the form of Anthony Polowick. If you could ask for one hitter to be at the plate in this spot, it is not the guy you have up right now if you're the Majors, but it's the perfect man for the Barnstormers. Seth Strong coming up 2 for 4 on the day.
Definitely is. Yet a slow start, went 0 for 2. Then back-to-back singles to his name, and if you recall, it probably would have been a double if it wasn't for the fantastic outfielding attempt from Byron Reichstein. Get it over to second in time. But he's really picked up his performance here. The Ohio man looking to get on for a third time and score potentially a winning run and game-leading run for the Barnstormers.
2 out. Runners on the corners. Setting on the mound is Henry. Here's the pitch. Inside, ball one.
Well inside here from Henry, and he really has to get these pitches under control, especially to the extremely dangerous Seth Strong.
1-0. Low, blocked by DeOlio. Running to second is Kucera. DeOlio pump faked to try to get a move from third. No dice.
Smart from DeOlio to pump fake there. He saw that the throw to second was well lost. So tried to make something out of nothing. Didn't in the end. But a high baseball IQ play there from Eduardo DeOlio.
So 2 runners in scoring position, and the Majors are going to use the open base to intentionally walk Seth Strong. The count was already 2-0, and with Seth Strong at the plate, you don't want to give him too many pitches to hit. So Majors will issue the intentional walk and bring Trent Sillett to the batter's box.
The Majors and Roop Chanderdat, as well as Brent Wells, showing that they have the utmost respect for one of the IBL's best players in Seth Strong. Reaches base for the 3rd time this evening. Bases are loaded. And what a chance for Trent Sillett.
Off the plate outside for ball one there to Sillett. Sillett is 0 for 3 in the ball game. A strikeout, a ground out, a fielder's choice, and then a sacrifice bunt. The right-hander sets on the mound. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss, 1-1.
Good fastball there from Henry. Can only assume that he's lost a little bit of his confidence. His 3 men are on base already, but he has to just try to brush that aside, close this inning out. He has 2 outs on his side.
1-1, 2 away. Here's the pitch from Henry. Breaking ball. Outside corner, strike 2.
Nice breaking ball. Great movement on it. Looks similar to the last pitch in the fastball, but broke at the right time. Enough to not even get an attempt from Sillett. And we're looking at a potential huge strikeout here for Henry.
Big pitch coming up. 1-2 count, 2 out. Bases loaded. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Jonathan Henry escapes the jam, and the Majors go back to the bats, but this ball game is tied.
Henry was in quite a pickle there. Got himself out of a tough predicament. Bases were loaded. They intentionally walked Seth Strong. And in the end, the Majors able to escape with no further damage done. But Chatham did tie it up, so it's a 4-4 ball game entering the bottom of the 8th inning. And good job by Henry to just stay calm in the end, close that outing out for him. But Chatham will be very disappointed in themselves, leaving 3 men on base, one definitely in scoring position, and it amounted to nothing.
We've got a new arm coming into the ball game here for the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. We'll get you who that is and all the details. This is a pitching change brought to you by Throw London, London's original knife throwing.
When you need a night out, Throw London is on point. With an atmosphere that's a cut above, Throw London brings together the best in knife throwing, axe throwing, and darts. So it's the perfect spot for a date night, night out with friends, leagues, and team building for the office. You've got to be 13 or older to throw pointy objects and 19 plus to enjoy their fully licensed offerings. It's the best spot in London for some fun with an edge. London's original knife throwing. Check them out at 2190 Dundas Street East and online at ithrow.ca. That's ithrow.ca.
Back now at Labatt Park for the bottom of the 8th inning. A new arm for the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. It is the big 6'4", 250-pound left-hander, Noah Richardson.
Yeah, Richardson, a native of Windsor, Ontario. He's appeared in 3 games so far. Is 2-0, a 5.87 ERA, 5 earned runs, just over 7 innings pitched. Also 4 hits against and 13 walks against him, but definitely a capable arm. He really needs to come up big here for the Barnstormers. A tie game going into the most crucial time for his side. Played some college ball in the States, Niagara University. The Purple Eagles, Dylan. What a name that is in Buffalo. And also attended Northern Kentucky in Highland Heights.
So he'll have to deal with 3, 4, and 5 in the Majors order. Eduardo DeOlio, Caden Cardoso, and Starling Joseph. Not an easy task. Though DeOlio has struggled at the plate today, 0 for 3.
Yeah, 0 for 3, not on his game, all 3 of which were flyouts. Pretty routine plays in the end, but he has a chance to make a big impact when it counts most in crunch time.
First pitch is in there for a strike to DeOlio, 0-1. The big lefty readies and delivers. On the ground towards second base. Playing it as Robert Mackey. The throw to first is in time. One away now in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Just a routine ground out there, and unfortunately for DeOlio, he drops to 0-4 on the day. Mackey with an easy fielding effort. Well, actually, you never know, especially in this game. Nothing's been extremely easy for the infield, but makes a routine play in the end over to first and retires DeOlio for the first out.
So Caden Cardoso into the batter's box, 1 for 3 on the day. First pitch from Richardson, sails on him, goes over everybody to the backstop.
And he's hearing it right now from the Majors fans. Noah Richardson well upstairs, way over Cardoso.
Swing and a miss there from the big Majors first baseman. It's 1-1.
Cardoso's only hit of the game came back in his first at bat where he singled. What a time it'd be for another one.
1-1, line towards the third base grandstand. That's a foul ball.
Every inch of Richardson's 6'4" stature being put into these fastballs here. He's throwing gas towards the plate. Cardoso, you could see how hard that one was fouled off.
That one misses high to Cardoso. It's 2-2. Richardson sets. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Cardoso fouls that one off and will try again on 2-2.
Cardoso's going to take a little walk. He needs a little break. Signals towards the umpire for a time.
Fouled it off his foot, I believe,
on
that last swing.
Did clip the top of his foot. And that definitely can't be comfortable with how fast deliveries are coming from Richardson.
So 2-2 once more. Caden Cardoso in the batter's box and Richardson out there on the rubber. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Cardoso down on strikes, and there's 2 away in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Cardoso moves to 1 for 4 on the day. Strikes out swinging there. Really upset with himself. Wants it back, and definitely was a tough at bat for him against the strong arm of Noah Richardson.
So Starling Joseph into the batter's box here for the Majors with 2 out in the bottom of the 8th inning. This game tied at 4 after the Barnstormers run in the top of the 8th.
Joseph's 1 for 2 with a single and a walk.
1-0 the count here on Starling. Setting is Richardson. Here's the pitch. Joseph, big swing. 1-1.
You could see really big names now in the Majors lineup having a really tough time with Richardson's fastball. Cardoso and now Starling Joseph. And a really good man to bring into relief here for the Barnstormers.
1-1, cut on and missed by Joseph again. It's 1-2.
Just way too hot to handle, throwing really good stuff. And Dylan, they're also drawing swings from the Majors lineup because they're in good positioning as well. I mean, both of those would have been strikes if Joseph had let them alone.
1-2 upstairs, 2-2 to Starling.
Starling smartly leaves that one, but it was coming in with so much speed. Similar spot to the last one. Really tough to tell in the end, so a good leave there from Starling.
2-2, 2 out. Here's the pitch. That one just misses, and the count runs full to Joseph.
Richardson put his hands on his head after that pitch. He thought it would go a bit further inside for a strike painting the corner. But Starling has fought his way back to earn a full count.
3-2 pitch on its way. Breaking ball freezes him. Called strike 3. Richardson sets down 3, 4, and 5 in order, and we head to the top of the 9th. We've got a tied ball game at Labatt Park.
Jersey early, whole crew coming, had to work something cause I had nothing in my pocket, yeah I did all that. Big plans, partners trying to make profits, yeah I did all that. Work, sweat, and intense breaking, even no ends. Yeah, I did all that, had to make it happen. Putting hours in my practice, I did all that. Yeah, run it, ooh. I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my.
Back here for the top of the ninth inning and a change over at third base.
Yeah, we're going to have Brad Verhoeven step in for Victor Plaz. Victor Plaz, bit of a tough day defensively, uncharacteristic from him, usually one of the best fielders on this major side. Just a bit of an off day for him, as a couple of mistakes throughout this one, I think 3 total. Now Brad Verhoeven will be in there to replace him in a very crucial time here, top of the ninth. Barnstormers trying to take the lead, and Robert Mackey, 3 for 4 on the day, stepping in.
Mackey into the right-handed batter's box against Jonathan Henry, who goes back out there for his second inning of work. First pitch misses for ball 1. Here's the pitch. Inside, 2-0.
Talked about a little bit surprised to see Henry back on the mound. We did have Skylar Janice warming up in the Majors bullpen. But Chanderdette and Wales keeping him out there for the ninth.
2-1 count here after that foul ball off the bat of Robert Mackey. Henry is at 33 pitches through 2 innings of work. Has earned a few extra innings after his recent performances. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss, 2-2.
Nice pitch there. Good fastball, low. Downstairs, had Mackey chasing it. Another strikeout opportunity. Henry already has 1 to his name.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Henry. Upstairs, count runs full now on Mackey, 3-2.
Yeah, potentially looking for Mackey to foul that one off or completely miss on it altogether. Just way too high upstairs.
3-2 pitch. Mackey pops it up on the infield. Mosher and Osika converging. It'll be Tristan Osika on the second base side of the bag, who makes the grab, and there's 1 out.
Another good defensive play from Osika. Waved off Mosher. A pretty easy catch in the end. And they sit down. Robert Mackey moves to 3-5 on the day with that flyout.
So with 1 away in the top of the ninth inning, it'll be Greg Kemble, the catcher, who comes into the plate. Kemble took over after Mitsuki Fukuda was pinch hit for by Dan Battelle. That one misses for ball 1.
And it was an interesting decision bringing in Kemble for Fukuda.
Flare towards shortstop. Osika makes the catch, and there's 2 gone.
As I was saying, Fukuda hitting .318 on the year. Kemble only .214. You're getting into really, really crunch time, clutch hitting time. And Kemble, not the most prolific hitter on the Barnstormers side, sits down immediately.
So Braxton Haggith into the batter's box, 1 for 4 today. That one, though, was a double earlier on. Jonathan Henry trying to set us to the bottom of the ninth. That one scorched to first, bobbled by Cardoso. He knocked it down, flipped to Henry covering, and it's a 1-2-3, top of the ninth inning after a great play by Caden Cardoso.
Yeah, Cardoso got the body and the glove in front of that one. And I'm sure he's happy with himself after striking out in his last at-bat. He was quite disappointed. Makes a fantastic defensive play and puts the Majors in a favorable position to potentially have a walk-off here in any capacity and win the game against the Barnstormers.
Won't be easy because Noah Richardson is back out there for his second inning of work, Ty. He was absolutely bringing it in the 8th inning.
Oh, he was. I mean, he's got quite a bit of speed behind these pitches. So much heat behind this 6'4" lefty. But he's going to face a tough side now, the Majors lineup, Byron Reichstein. And it looks like it will be Brad Verhoeven for Victor Plaz. We mentioned that before. And Gibson Kresminski also has to hit.
Majors trying to walk off the Barnstormers here on this Tuesday night. It's been a great ball game up to this point. We're thrilled to have you with us from the Forks of the Thames. The heat has kind of died down as night has set in, and it's turned into a great evening for baseball here. We are no longer overheating in the press box.
And that always happens when it's a scorching hot day outside. Whenever nightfall comes, you know it's going to be a very, very pretty evening. Reminiscent of like a casual night in Florida, which I'm sure the Oilers are dealing with right now. We mentioned
I don't know if it's a casual night in Florida, Ty. I think it's a pretty intense night in Florida.
I think it is an intense night in Florida, and we heard the 3-1 score announcement, and the crowd absolutely erupted when they heard that it was for Edmonton.
So Byron Reichstein will lead off this inning against Noah Richardson. Tough lefty-lefty matchup here. There is action in the Barnstormers bullpen should Richardson run into any trouble, but I believe for the time being at least, it's his inning.
And Garrett Day's warming up just in case. A big opportunity here for both Richardson and the Majors lineup.
First pitch to Reichstein. Falls in for a strike. It's 0-1.
Richardson's been a little bit inconsistent this year. It'd be a great opportunity to prove that he's a reliable arm when it matters most. And another fastball just gleaming across for a strike, Dylan.
0-2 the count here to Byron Reichstein. Here's the pitch upstairs for ball one.
You could see it kind of rattle Reichstein when it reached home plate. A lot of noise on that one. On the face level to him.
1-2 pitch. Misses for ball two. 2-2 to Reichstein.
That was a close call. Could have painted that outside corner with a fastball. As it isn't a relief, doesn't have to save his arm for longevity or anything of that sort, so he's throwing all out here as that one's called for a strike, Dylan.
Called strike 3 there to Byron Reichstein for the first out of the bottom of the ninth inning.
And so that is the third strikeout of the day for Richardson, not to mention he's retired his last 3 with strikeouts. Cardoso, Joseph, and now Reichstein.
Brad Verhoeven into the batter's box. And I don't believe the umpires caught that defensive switch last inning, so just updating their cards now. Here's the pitch to Verhoeven. Swing and a miss, strike one.
This is Verhoeven's first at-bat in the entire game. And a really tough time to do so. You're coming in rather cold, not being warmed up, hitting all game long, and now you're facing a really, really strong arm in Noah Richardson. He's throwing gas towards the plate.
0-1 is fouled back to the screen, and it's 0-2.
Be impressive to see Verhoeven really do anything here to try to get on.
No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Richardson trying to set down Verhoeven here and get back-to-back strikeouts. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So back-to-back punch-outs for Richardson, and there's 2 gone now in the bottom of the ninth.
Whew, just nasty stuff from Noah Richardson. As you could see, Brad Verhoeven slam his bat on the dirt after that one, leaving another one disappointed. Noah Richardson, his 4th strikeout, or his 4th strikeout in a row, Dylan. 4 total on the night, only has 1 more. Gibson Kresminski trying to do anything here to prevent this one from going into extra innings.
Gibson Kresminski into the batter's box is 2 for 3 today. Skies this one foul territory. That one gets out of play. Kresminski, the birthday boy, has a bunt single, a bloop single, and a ground out.
It's a really big opportunity here. Potential to walk off on your birthday.
Swing and a miss there, and it's 0-2.
But Noah Richardson really wants to prevent that. Not taking the foot off the gas whatsoever. continuously delivering bombs towards the plate, giving the Majors lineup a tough time.
0-2 will sail high on Richardson, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Krasminski.
Threw that one high, well outside the strike zone, looking for a bit of a chase from Krasminski. Doesn't do so in the end, and it's 1-2.
1-2, 2 out. Richardson trying to strike out the side in order. Here's the pitch, upstairs, 2-2.
Nice job from Krasminski. Watch that the entire way. Evens the count up. He's still got some work to do.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Here's the pitch. Line straight back at the screen, and we'll try it again on 2-2.
Keeps himself alive. The only batter that's really given Noah Richardson a tough time. Especially he's hitting his fastball now. He continuously fouls out, where we saw Cardoso and Joseph that sometimes we're not even touching the ball. See if Krasminski.
2-2 inside, 3-2.
And a fair few Chatham fans thought that could have been strike 3. I did as well. It was sliding inside, didn't throw a fastball. Went to something that is continuously moved inside, count up full.
3-2 pitch. Krasminski takes ball 4. So a great walk worked by Gibson Krasminski, and the Majors have a 2-out base runner.
Well, as I mentioned, Krasminski really fighting back there to be able to get on base. Gave Noah Richardson his first really tough outing so far. And in steps Champ Gardner now. So the Majors have 1 on. That potentially game-winning run sitting at first.
Gardner 0 for 1 on the day. Richardson peeks back at first and delivers. Swing and a miss, strike 1.
Gardner way ahead of that one. Just a beautiful pitch. Wasn't ready for the hot stuff of Noah Richardson. Another amazing delivery.
Setting on the rubber is Richardson. Krasminski bouncing off of first. Here's the 0-1 home. Gardner in the air, foul territory. Giving chase is strong. Racing towards the Majors bullpen. Long run, and it falls in foul.
Well, the funny thing is, the person who definitely would have made that play, Dylan, Willie Mays. He's very accustomed to those over the head, over the shoulder catches. Seth Strong had to make a really long run for it. Tough play in the end for him. And it drops right in front of him. Watches it bounce, and he'll want that back to record that 3rd out. But Gardner got a little piece of it, and then chopped it off down the 3rd base side.
0-2, 2 out here to Champ Gardner. Facing Noah Richardson. Gibson Krasminski over at first base. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Noah Richardson strikes out the side in the bottom of the 9th inning and sends us to extras. When we come back, a runner will be at second base, and it's crunch time at Labatt Park.
Hello, my name is Jim Nuther with Nuther's Award Store. Come along with me on a virtual tour to take a look at our amazing products and services that we're able to provide to you to help you with your recreation needs.
Back here at Labatt Park for the 10th inning between the Majors and the Barnstormers tie. Jonathan Henry heading out there for a 4th inning of work.
Yeah, we thought this one would go the distance this game, Dylan. It absolutely has. Although it's not the 15-12 barn burner against the Barnstormers, it is a 4-4, really close one. Jonathan Henry, no doubt on a short leash out there now. Only the 2nd pitcher the majors tonight. Apart from the starter piano, he's had several innings of relief at this point.
So Braxton Haggith will be the runner at second base. Torin Veselinak will step into the batter's box. Haggith with speed at second. We saw him steal third earlier. We'll see whether the Barnstormers employ some small ball to push the go-ahead run to third.
And being such an aggressive team, I can only assume that they will. Obviously, as you just mentioned, in a very similar position last time. Haggith was at second, bulleted his way over to third to steal the base, and ended up scoring in the end. So, good chance here for Veselinak to move him forward. Veselinak, who doubled in his last out.
0-1 count. Here's the pitch, squaring around Veselinak. That one over his head, and it's 1-1.
Henry lost control of that pitch way too far outside. What was supposed to be a breaking ball, and actually required a duck from Veselinak.
We'll see if the bunt is on. It was not on the first pitch. It was on the second offering. Henry looks into the sign. Comes set. Cardoso crashing early, squaring Veselinak. Off the plate outside. 2-1.
Definitely looked close there on that fastball. I think that Henry did think it was a strike. Umpire decides it was a little low in the end, and the count at 2-1.
2 balls, 1 strike. Hitters count for Veselinak. Here's the pitch. He squares again, gets this one down towards the pitcher's mound. Tough play for Henry. Throw to first. Not in time. Veselinak beats it out. Now nobody's at second, and he's going to take second base as well.
And what a play that was for Veselinak. The knack to just have the instinct to get over there to second in time. Not to mention it was a perfectly placed bunt in the end. Advanced the Barnstormers runner, who is Braxton Haggith, over to third. He's in scoring position now. And so too is Veselinak at second.
So 2 in scoring position here for the Barnstormers. That will bring out Majors manager Roop Chanada. We've seen Christian Coombs loosening in the bullpen for a little while. He's stopped and he's started. We'll see if this is him coming in or if it's just Roop trying to give a pep talk to Jonathan Henry, who is in a tough spot after they could not record the out on a beautifully placed bunt off the bat of Torin Veselinak, and that'll be all for Jonathan Henry. So we've got a pitching change brought to you by Throw London, London's original knife throwing.
Hey, it's Paul here at Throw London. Just a reminder that it's never too early to book your Christmas event, Christmas party, here at Throw London.
Tenth inning, Majors and the Barnstormers, 2 runners in scoring position for Chatham, and that has led to a pitching change for London.
It has for the first time tonight, and in a while, Christian Coombs makes his way out to the rubber. Last appearance came against Barrie. He just over 3 innings pitched, and that one allowed 2 hits, 4 earned runs. Had 2 strikeouts and 4 walks. A total, though, a cumulative over the year, a 9.82 ERA, 4 earned runs against, a 1.64 whip, allowed 2 hits as well. So comes in at a very, very tough time if you're a pitcher to try to help them from not allowing that possibly game-winning run sitting at third, which is Braxton Haggith. Obviously the beautiful bunt from Torin Veselinak, just perfectly placed, got himself to second base after no one was there to cover for the Majors. Coombs in at a tough time, and a big opportunity here for Anthony Polowick.
So Polowick, who came on as a pinch hitter earlier in this ballgame back in the 8th inning and doubled in a big spot, has a chance to do the same right here.
Yeah, Polowick did double in a really, really important spot. So it's 1 for 1 after his first outing. He is recorded an RBI in the last time these two teams played. And a potential for another one here.
So Polowick in the box, Coombs now on the mound. Braxton Haggett, the go-ahead run, 90 feet away at third base, and Torin Veselinak stands at second. Would be some big insurance. Majors infield is in. Here's the pitch from Coombs. In there for a strike, 0-1.
Nice first pitch, a fastball outside from Coombs. Showing that confidence.
Setting on the rubber is the left-hander. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball ripped into right center field by Polowick, and that's going to be trouble. Haggis scores easily, So too does Veselinak. It's a 2-run single for Anthony Polowick, and the Barnstormers lead 6-4.
Well, Polowick, what an impact he's made on this game. 2 for 2. That 2 RBI single, potentially the game-winning hit for his Barnstormers. And they lead now 6-4 in extra innings. And off the second pitch from Coombs, takes him back in right field.
So the Majors will have their work cut out for them in the bottom of the 10th inning, but first there's still 3 outs to get. Here's the first pitch from Coombs to Spencer Marcus, cut on and missed, 0-1.
And you can only start to think with the way that Noah Richardson has been on the rubber so far that this might be the end of the night for the Majors if they're not able to turn things around quickly.
Marcus rips that one foul, and it's 0-2.
His 6th at-bat this game, Dylan.
Certainly seen the plate quite a bit this evening. Coombs sets on the rubber. Polowick a very short lead over at first. Here's the pitch. Marcus in the air, right field. Chasing after it, Reichstein. Slicing towards foul territory. It will get down in the Chatham-Kent bullpen, and we'll try again on 0-2.
Got down. It looked like if Reichstein had continued that run, he might have been able to record the out, but he's just going to leave it in the end. And Dylan, you really can't blame Christian Coombs coming in this late in the game against such a good hitting team in Chatham. Just felt like they were building to something all game long. After coming back down from 4-2.
That one misses to Marcus, 1-2. Polowick stands over at first. Nobody out here in the top of the 10th inning. Barnstormers lead by a pair. Here's the pitch. Off the plate outside, 2-2.
Still no outs for the Majors, and they could really use some here. Chatham is just so dangerous, so poised on the plate, and they can easily add more to their tally.
2-2 inside, nearly clips Marcus, and the count runs full at 3-2. Coombs in danger of losing Spencer Marcus. He walked 4 batters to just 2 strikeouts in Barrie in his first outing as a Major. The walks have been an issue for him throughout his college career as well. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Off the plate outside, ball 4.
Yeah, that's too bad. They're outside from Coombs, and another walk against his name. As you mentioned, he had a little bit of trouble with that in college, playing his ball in New Jersey at Rider University and at St. Peter's for the Peacocks. Outside has to just calm down, get things under control, but a double play opportunity here for the Majors. But 2 on for the Barnstormers.
So Lee Kucera into the batter's box. 2 for 5 on the day. Another runner standing in scoring position for Chatham is Anthony Polowick at second base. Here's the pitch from Coombs. Squaring around a bunt as Kucera gets that one down. Right back to the pitcher, Coombs. He'll spin and throw to first. Nearly pulled Cardoso off the bag, but they get the out. So it's a sacrifice bunt, putting 2 more runners into scoring position.
Yeah, very nice play. Well-placed bunt there by Lee Kucera. Forced Coombs to make the quick run down off the rubber. And as we saw, almost dragged Caden Cardoso off the plate. Or off the bag, I should say. But in the end, the Majors record 1 out and a desperately needed out.
So that'll bring up Seth Strong. 2 for 4 on the day. Was intentionally walked in his last plate appearance. With 1 out in the inning, Majors don't appear to be doing that here. Check swing, called strike.
I'm not sure what Strong was thinking on that one. That one was well outside. He saw it the whole way through, but still decided to take a hack at it.
Time called here by the catcher, DeOlio. Wasn't quite ready for that pitch. Interesting to not walk Strong in this spot. It would load the bases and put a force on at any bag. But the Majors prioritizing the lefty-lefty matchup here of Coombs against Strong. Pitch on its way, breaking ball. That one just misses, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, just narrow miss there from Christian Coombs. Looked like it could have been called for a strike. Trying to paint the low inside corner there towards Strong. Nonetheless called for a ball.
1-1, 1 out. Here's the pitch. Called strike 2 to Seth Strong.
A delayed strike at that, Dylan. The umpire is second there, but eventually will give it to him. It's a lefty-lefty. Appears to be favoring London in that situation.
1-2, 1 out. Coombs sets. And delivers. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Big punch out there for Christian Coombs. A massive second out, though runners do remain at second and third.
Yeah, fantastic pitch there from Coombs. Fastball outside again. Caught Seth Strong swinging. Strikes out for the third time this evening. Moves the Majors to 2 outs. A bit more manageable situation now. And Trent Sillett back up.
Sillett 0 for 4 today. First time facing Coombs. Here's the pitch, fouled off, 0-1.
You still have Polowick in scoring position, as well as Vasilinak.
Polowick at third, Marcus at second. Here is Coombs ready on the mound. Breaking ball, drops in there for strike 2.
Very nice pitch from Coombs. Getting a little bit more confident now, and huge opportunity to record a second strikeout and retire the side.
0-2, 2 out. Here's the pitch. Upstairs. Coombs overthrew it, and it's 1-2.
Bit too ambitious there, going very, very high. And an easy read in the end for Sillett. Still an opportunity for him to drive in a couple runs.
So 2 in scoring position here for Trent Sillett. Setting on the rubber, Coombs. Here's the pitch. Off the plate away once again. It's 2-2.
Yeah, he's going to want that one back in the end, I believe, Dylan. Got a bit out of his hand. Fastball was way too far outside to be even called close to a strike. Another easy read for Sillett.
2-2, 2 out. 2 on, both in scoring position. Coombs trying to send the Majors to the bats in the bottom of the 10th. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball. Sillett fouls it off, and will try again on 2-2.
Good swing there by Sillett to keep himself alive, and that pitch was hanging just a little bit, it looked like, from Coombs. So a smart swing. Still an opportunity.
2-2, 2 out. Coombs trying to put away Sillett. Here's the pitch. In the air, on the infield. Cardoso makes the catch, and the side is retired, but not before. Anthony Polowick delivers his second big hit of the ball game, putting the Barnstormers ahead by 2 runs. It's 6-4 heading to the bottom of the 10th.
And talk about game changer. I mean, what an impact Anthony Polowick has been. 2 for 2 after coming in late into the game. As well, 2 RBIs to his name, potentially the 2 winning RBIs in this one. And London certainly has their work cut out for them, as I'm sure Noah Richardson is not going to take anything off from his deliveries. Back on the rubber now, and he's just been simply fantastic.
Richardson back out there, as you mentioned, Ty. We saw Garrett Day loosening up, but Richardson has been terrific. 2 innings, has thrown 32 pitches. That's all he's needed. Hasn't allowed a hit, has walked 1, struck out 5. 5 of his 6 outs have been via the strikeout. Unbelievable.
I mean, an absolutely insane run from him. It's been so incredible to watch. He had 1 strikeout followed by 3 more, then a walk to Kresminski, and then obviously got up Garner in the end. Kresminski really giving him the only extremely tough at bat so far that we've seen. The Majors have their work cut out for them. Still 2 runs to be able to tie this thing up, 3 to take the lead. But we've seen a great comeback, I think, here, Dylan, from the Barnstormers. They were down 2-4. And it was like that for a little while. They added 1 to their tally, then 3-4, and eventually crawled all the way back to extend things into this 10th inning of play where they've taken care of business.
So we will see what the strategy is here for the Majors. You'd imagine there's no sacrifice bunt for Ty Mosher because they're not playing for that 1 run to score. They need 2 runs to come across to score in this inning. Champ Garner will be the runner over at second base for the Majors. It'll be Ty Mosher, Tristan Osika, and Eduardo Deolio for London.
Mosher, big opportunity here. He walked in his last at bat. Really needs to get on here to give London a chance. It's going to be tough for him, though, against the big hands of Richardson.
Corners are in now. Sillett backs up. Strong stays in over at third. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike to Mosher. It's 0-1.
Just painting these corners effortlessly. Richardson. A lot of heat, nice and outside. Low as well, as would it be a tough swing for Mosher if he took a hack at it.
0-1 inside, gets away from the catcher, charging for third is Garner. Here's the throw, not in time. Got away from Kemble, and Garner moves up.
Even too hot to handle for Kemble. The pitches from Richardson, trying to make the throw over there to recover, and to Seth Strong to get out. Champ Garner in the end, but he reaches third. So the Majors potentially can go within 1 if Ty Mosher is able to get anything out past the infield.
1-1 misses high. 2 balls and 1 strike here to Mosher. Majors need 2 runs in the bottom of the 10th inning just to stay alive in this contest. The big lefty's ready. Here's the pitch. Upstairs to Mosher. 3-1.
Well, Richardson rocking a little bit now on the mound. Ball 4 chance coming in. Mosher.
Ball 4. Pitches in the dirt, and Ty Mosher, the tying run, will reach first base.
So 2 walks back-to-back from Ty Mosher. He gets on first. The tying run's at first. The winning run's at home. Tristan Osika, he's played almost a perfect game defensively so far. Be interesting to see if he can add offensively onto this. He drove in a run, but he's been 0 for 3 today.
Squares to bunt. First pitch will miss inside. Mosher over at first base. Majors trying to move him into scoring position. 1-0 count to Osika. Here's the pitch, not squaring, ball high, 2-0.
Richardson losing a little bit of his confidence now. The crowd's starting to get a little louder. The pitch is going further and further outside. And he's going to get a talking to here from the pitching coach, Gilberto Rondon.
So Richardson will get spoken to here by his coach and the shortstop as well, Torin Vasilinak, coming to the mound to try to calm him down. 2-0 count on Osika. Garrett Day continuing to loosen in the Chatham-Kent bullpen.
You know, Dylan, at one point in this game, Richardson seemed virtually untouchable.
Yep.
He was just throwing perfectly placed fastballs all over, working the plate entirely. The Majors have found a bit of a potion to that, remedying those mistakes that they previously faced against Richardson, and put themselves into a nice position here. 2 men on, pitting the corners with no outs. and it's 2-0 to Tristan Osika.
3-0 as that one misses the inside corner. Hitters count for Osika. We'll see if he gets the green light. 3-0 count. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike, 3-1.
That was a good recovery pitch there. As it went inside, low and inside fastball. Would have been a tough swing for Osika to take. 3-1.
Setting is Richardson. Here's the 3-1 home. Ball 4. Osika works the walk. Bases loaded. Nobody out.
And up steps Eduardo De Olio. An amazing position for him here. No outs for the Majors. Bases loaded. Bottom of the 10th. It's just pure drama here at Labatt Memorial Park.
Here comes Dan Norman, Ty. That will signal the end of the night for Noah Richardson, you'd assume. In trotting from the bullpen is Garrett Day. We've got a pitching change. It's brought to you by Throw London, London's original knife throwing. Stay with us. We got drama at Labatt Park.
When you need a night out, Throw London is on point. With an atmosphere that's a cut above, Throw London brings together the best in knife throwing, axe throwing, and darts. So it's the perfect spot for a date night, night out with friends, leagues, and team building for the office. You've got to be 13 or older to throw pointy objects and 19 plus to enjoy their fully licensed offerings. It's the best spot in London for some fun with an edge. London's original knife throwing. Check them out at 2190 Dundas Street East and online at ithrow.ca. That's ITHROW.ca.
New arm into the ball game for the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. It is the tall right-hander, Garrett Day.
Day, a native of Chatham, and he's been putting in here in a very tough situation as the Majors have bases loaded, which they earned off Noah Richardson. And as we just mentioned, Dylan, Noah Richardson was playing so well, looked untouchable, very much too hot to handle for the Majors through his first 2 appearances, and then he really cooled down. And at the wrong time, too, because the Majors are in a very favorable position to take the lead here in what has been potentially a very dramatic comeback for them after giving up 2 runs, the top of the 10th in extra innings.
So Eduardo De Olio into the batter's box.
Garrett Day is just over 6 innings pitched on the year so far. Has appeared in 6 games and has a 0.00 ERA.
Nobody out. Bases loaded. Garner at third. Mosher at second. Osika at first. Day on the mound. First pitch to De Olio. Inside, ball 1.
See, there's quite a few rally caps here at Labatt Memorial Park, and who knows, Dill, they might just be working so far.
1-0 pitch. Inside, ball 2.
Well, now it's really getting dangerous because a 1 run can easily come in here if De Olio gets anything past the infield. You're thinking 1, you're thinking potentially 2, maybe even all 3 around a score.
2-0. De Olio, chopper, over the head of Strong, into left field. Here comes Garner. Here comes Mosher. He will score. This ball game is tied at 6-6.
Eduardo De Olio with an absolutely clutch at-bat for the London Majors. We're all square at the bottom of the 10th. And it can only get worse from here as Caden Cardoso steps in. The winning run sitting at second here at Labatt Memorial Park.
Could you ask for anyone better at the plate right now than Caden Cardoso? 6-6 game in the 10th inning. Winning run at second in the form of Tristan Osika. Garrett Day trying to send us to the 11th. Still nobody out. First pitch, ball 1.
Once again, Day put in a really tough position here. Was rough any way you cut it for whatever pitcher was going to make their way in here in relief for the Barnstormers.
1-0. In there for a strike. It's 1-1.
Well, a tough situation, but then you have to come up and face Caden Cardoso. Doesn't get much more difficult than that. We'll see if Day has ice in his veins.
1-1 count. Day peeks back at Osika. Spin move, Osika's back.
No one home or even close at second base there. Mackey or Vasilenak.
1-1 count. Here's the pitch. Off the plate. 2-1 to Cardoso.
Cardoso looks calm. He looks comfortable at the plate. It seemed like his kryptonite before was Noah Richardson. Fantastic fastballs that got by him, but Day's a new opponent here, and Cardoso's taking full advantage of that.
2-1. Cardoso in the air, foul territory. Slicing towards the wall, and it will get about 5 or 6 rows deep. So the count is 2-2.
Braxton Hageth made the long run across. Wasn't even close in the end, though. Count even. Still no outs, Dylan.
A tumultuous Tuesday night at the ballpark here in mid-June. 2-2 count to Caden Cardoso. Winning run at second base. Day sets and delivers. Ball 3. Full count.
Full count. Cardoso, if he gets on, bases are loaded once again. Still no outs. What a position the Majors are in here, and Cardoso.
3-2. Nobody out. Day trying not to lose Cardoso. Inside ball 4. The bases are loaded for Starling Joseph.
So Cardoso just shuffled backwards and let it fly right past his ribs to let the bases be fully loaded here. And the opportunity of a lifetime for Starling Joseph to step in.
So the infield will come in here for Chatham. Joseph will be at the plate, trying to push some runs across for the Majors, trying to push the winning run across for the Majors as Chatham congregates on the mound, looking to calm down their pitcher.
And you're looking for really an anything situation here, Dylan. It could be a sac fly, it could be a dribbler past the second baseman or shortstop. Quite literally anything could get the Majors in here to score. And Starling Joseph, potentially the man to deliver that final blow and knock out the Barnstormers in the bottom of the 10th.
Day has struggled to find the strike zone at times so far. Bases loaded, nobody out, bottom of the 10th inning. Starling Joseph in the batter's box. Here's the pitch. Ball 1.
And you also have to be careful now because Day cannot allow another one to walk, or this one is done, folks. He needs to throw strikes. 0 outs. Such a tough situation for him.
1-0 home. Strike 1.
Nice fastball upstairs, painted that inside corner on Starling Joseph.
1 ball, 1 strike count. Joseph ready in the box. Here's the pitch. In the air. Foul territory. After it goes Sillett. So too does Kemble. Into a slide and the ball drops. It's a foul ball. Joseph gets a new life.
Well, Sillett was making his way over there at full speed. And, you know, so was Kemble. And it was a close collision that easily could have recorded the first out on the bottom of the 10th here for the Barnstormers, but perhaps bad communication and a bit lost in the lighting. So it drops and favorably for Starling Joseph.
1-2 count. Bases loaded, nobody out. Joseph at the plate. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. A huge first out for Garrett Day.
Oh, what a way to record your first out and your first strikeout from Garrett Day. That one's inside. Had Starling Joseph fully swinging for that one. And that's 1 down, but he still has 2 to go. Bases are loaded.
Byron Reichstein into the batter's box. No stranger to the big moments himself. 0 for 2. Bases loaded, 1 out.
You just feel the tension here around Labatt Memorial Park as this is building.
Ball 1 to Reichstein, 1-0.
Who's the hero gonna be?
1-0, 1 out. The pitch. 2-0.
So once again, cannot allow a walk here from Reichstein. Reichstein has to do is get on. That's all he's tasked with. It's again quite literally anything a sac fly still in play here for the Majors.
2-0. Swing and a miss. 2-1.
Big swing there from Reichstein. He really wanted that one. Again, Dylan, if it gets past the infield, it is likely the winner for the Majors.
2-1, 1 out. Here's the pitch. Ball 3, 3-1.
Umpire took his time on that one, even debated that one himself. 3-1 though. If this is a ball, the London Majors are victorious.
Huge pitch coming up. 3-1, 1 out. Reichstein at the plate. Here's the pitch. Ball 4.
It's a ball, Dylan.
How about it? The Majors walk it off with a walk, and they emerge victorious on this dramatic Tuesday night from Labatt Park.
Well, that's Reichstein's second walk of the game, and what an at-bat it was for him. Everyone waiting for the reaction of the umpire and his decision. And in the end, it's a final blow from the Majors to earn that walk and score another one. The Majors with a dramatic comeback come on top 7-6 over the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. Dylan, this matchup never disappoints.
An absolutely fantastic game in the Barnstormers' first trip to Labatt Park. We'll take a quick break and then we'll have an interview and final thoughts. Stay with us on Majors TV. Back here at Labatt Memorial Park, the Majors emerge victorious with a walk-off walk. How about that for some excitement on this Tuesday night?
You don't hear that too often.
No, it was a close game all throughout, back and forth through all 10 innings, and eventually, after a rough top of the 10th, the Majors emerged victorious, Ty.
I mean, it was just fantastic. I thought they were very much so down and out when Noah Richardson was on the mound. But they were able to come back, show that they could get on base against Richardson, which forced them to change gears a little bit, put Garrett Day on the mound. Day had a tough time, and the Majors just really took advantage of it. What a way to close out. They had so many walks at the end there, 4 to be exact against Day. And it was the final blow from Reichstein. Watch that pitch sail by him high and outside to be called for ball 4. And the Majors waltzed across for the victory, 7-6, and an awesome comeback.
A terrific ball game here at Labatt Park on a Tuesday night. The Majors only generating 6 hits on the evening, but it results in the victory. We'll now send it down to field level. Justin Koehler is with our very special guest.
And so I'm here with Byron Reichstein, the player of the game for today, right off the bat. The key at bat in the end of the game there. What was going through your head?
I was just looking for a pitch to drive. And then a bat like that, base juice, the winning run on third, you just want to drive something. You know what? Sometimes a walk does it.
Yeah, exactly. And so in the inning, stolen base, 2 walks, a key hit from Diolio, another couple walks. What was going on in the dugout through that inning?
We just have each other's back. We've been pretty inconsistent. That inning just, we had to really put everything together right there.
And it was also a walk-off win for Gibson Krasminski, whose birthday it is today. Do you have any messages you want to give to the birthday boy?
Happy birthday, enjoy it, and be smart.
Perfect. That's everything I got for you. So we'll send it back up to Ty and Dylan in the Game Day London press box to wrap things up.
Justin, thank you. Back here in the Game Day London broadcast booth. How about it, Ty? What a ball game on a Tuesday night. It was hot. It was hectic. It was back and forth. Really terrific all throughout.
It really was, and at the end, the Majors came up when they really needed to, and I love this game. It was so back and forth. You really couldn't predict who was going to win, and the first outing, 15-12 final, this 7-6. This matchup never disappoints. What a performance. Gibson Krasminski, or Byron Reichstein, I should say, having to get that walk in the end to walk Tristan Osika across. Might I add, Osika also a candidate potentially for player of the game. He played so well defensively and scores the final run to ensure a Majors victory. This had drama written all over it. What a night here at Labatt Memorial Park.
An early rivalry between Chatham-Kent and London. Ty, the Majors only with 6 hits in the ball game. It was a lot of walks, a lot of sack bunts, stolen bases, small ball all throughout, really for both sides today.
It definitely was, and usually the Majors wouldn't come out top, only having 6 hits to their name. Only had 8 in their last outing as well. We thought they'd definitely improve on that tonight, especially having such a history of high-scoring games against Chatham so far this year. But they ended up doing the small stuff right, and in the end it worked out for them.
So that'll do it for our coverage of this Tuesday night contest from Labatt Memorial Park. what a game it was between the Majors and the Barnstormers. Majors are back in action on Friday night against the Welland Jackfish. For producer, director extraordinaire Matt Hiscox, Ty White, my name is Dylan Baker. A huge thank you to all of our Majors TV crew and to all of you at home for tuning in. Have a great rest of your Tuesday night, and we'll talk to you on Friday.